Hello, and welcome to D4, where I, Dustin.
And I, Devin, codium a 5th edition game of Dungeons
And Dragons!
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I mean, we've seen one more than the other.
We've seen them both.
Some of you may have noticed that, but for all of those that didn't, we have a new show on our channel that airs on Fridays called D4 and After. It is a deep dive show with the cast of D4 led and hosted by Ross Lee into the hearts and minds of both the players and the characters of D4.
Absolutely.
You can find out where, what happened to them and how they're dealing with that in the previous episodes. Why they made certain choices.
Why'd you look at me?
Look.
Okay.
where we will also try and answer some of the viewer-submitted questions and more. This past Friday, we had Lauren Urban join us as we discussed her entire journey with the BFGs up to her departure as Orkira. And you can watch the VOD now on Patreon, or the second screening, which you can catch this coming Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All questions for future episodes of D4 and After must be submitted to the D4 and After channel on our Discord. And we can't wait for you to join us.
Also excited that next week we'll be joined by a longtime friend of ours and the ghostwriter of D4. If you like the Black Network Market, Harold's new Archfey patron, the Fey Wild West one-shot, Haunting Aesop's Fable, Ellerthak Told Seisha, or perhaps our D4 Resurrection rules available on DM's Guild, or so many countless other things, then next week you will all get to meet the man who helped us conceptualize and assisted in writing out those ideas. Chris Hero Stanford will be joining us at our table to play a very unconventional character. We cannot wait for you to meet them both.
Nice. Things are changing up a little bit with sponsors, because, change everything.
Yeah.
We got a message from Bob and George, the official spokesgoblins of Beetle and Grimm's, and they were very upset with us that we had a human who calls themselves a goblin as the spokesperson on our stream.
I want to see their union cards.
So we want to apologize to Goblin Katie, but under threat by our very own alter egos in this very weird meta universe, we will be announcing Beetle and Grimm's Pandemonium Warehouse from now on and letting Goblin talk about what she loves most. Yeah. But as for this week, all we're going to say is just go please check out beetleandgrims.com, buy one of the myriad of amazing things that from their store that we use to enhance our game, let them enhance your game, and go check out our unboxing videos on our YouTube channel and see why Beetle and Grims is so amazing.
It's so amazing. But now, let's hear from our sponsors. Don't you, Logan?
Hey, cats and or kittens, for shizzle. Are you feeling like the squareness of your table is at its utmost? Well then, open your ears, because I have the tool for you fools to rule the organizational community of your Dungeons & Dragons tabletop game. Let's check in to www.dndbeyond.com and see what they're up to. Hype in #Beyond in the chat right now to get a Players bundle. That's a Players bundle for you today.
Oh.
What?
But hey, one other thing. This is the last day, Squares, so listen up with your ears, if you will. Because all of the player bundles are on sale, like your Fly Girl or Home Guy, whichever the case may be, in accordance with your personal purviews. So, head on down to the dndbeyond.com, or type in #Beyond in the chat, #Beyond in the chat right now.
Uh-oh, here we go again.
Do it.
Oh.
I'm a little disappointed you didn't dip your finger in the water and then hit his hand.
I play by my own rules, homegirl. Don't step on my fly.
That's fair. And your flyness.
That was a nice save.
That was good, yeah. Y'all, I am so excited. I get to talk to you about one of my favorite things in the world. Dice!
Yeah.
excited to tell you about a wonderful product from Die Hard Dice called the multi-class dice. Now, you may have noticed a couple of us decided to multi-class when we leveled recently, and I'm primarily a paladin. I took a level of rogue. So the fabulous thing about this is these dice are made with a magnet in the middle. So you can take them apart if you figure out where the seam is. I
thought
did
I
this,
broke
okay.
one by accident. Forgot on purpose.
Yeah, it works. You take them apart, and then you can snap them together, and they lock hard.
smart.
Like, you're not gonna knock them free when you get them rolled right. And you can have multiple classes on one die, and they're amazing, and they're so cool. So I would suggest you head over to dieharddice.com and get yourself some. And while you're there, you should use our discount Dice affiliate code for 10% off your order. And that code is going to be D4BFFs. That's D4 Bravo Foxtrot Sierra.
Wow. Yeah. Go make your own lamentation box and see the beautiful sights we can show you.
Well, you opened the stream, we came. Here we are. Welcome to D4 D&D. You know what goes great with your players bundle and your multi-class dice? What you need to go with that is a cool little miniature to perfectly represent your own character within your own
Square.
Yeah, square. And when you're doing that, the best way to do that is with Eldritch Foundry, of course. Check them out. They're a fantastic place. Making your miniature is exactly like making your favorite character in your favorite RPG. Lots of cool options you can choose from hairstyles to weapons. And hey, if you like weapons, they just added a new bow in favor of Valentine's Day. It's really, really cool. They got a new bow, they got a new arrow, and there's a new token frame, which is what you can place them on. If you want to make a fantastic archer full of lovey bows, you can do that. Check it out at Eldritch Foundry. And if you want a chance to win your own hashtag Eldritch in the chat right now, put it in there. That's all you got to do. Hashtag Eldritch. And you can have your own miniature tonight for free if you win. But hey, if you don't win, no big deal. Put in D4D&D to get 15% off your own miniature when you purchase your own. It's a fantastic deal. It's always up. We love Eldritch Foundry. We know you will too. Check them out. Eldritch Foundry.
Oh, hello, it's me. And I'm here to talk to you about our lovely merch that we have at d4dndrpg.com. It's a lot of three letters, but once you get it, it kind of has a rhythm and flow to it. We have a lot of great things on there for you to peruse, get gifts for people, and we also just came out with our brand new playmat. I don't have one to show you, but if you go to d4dndrpg.com, you can get yourself one. That's all I got for y'all. I love y'all.
Idle champions of the Forgotten Realm. Well, I'm not stalling. You're stalling. For a great time with a great game. Why are you doing that? That's crazy. There's like a code below me, and it sounds like Swim Rushvale. That's what it sounds like if you're to say it out loud, which you're not going to, because what you're going to do is you're going to get this game and then put this code in it, or pull up the game really. But like that's what's going to happen. I'm actually telling. And and I really don't appreciate when people stall for time. It's so rude. Like, why would you do that? And, two-step authentication. That's so crazy. I think I got a text. Let me check it. Would you
like me to help you buy some time?
It's my mom. I'm so sorry. I gotta
Messaging her these.
I have to check. Yep, that's me, Mom.
It's a fantastic game in which you can play lots of your favorite characters from D&D, and you send them on awesome adventures together. Make your own party of all of your favorite characters from D&D.
Or Kira's in it.
In it.
And Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms.
The place where we are.
Is a Dungeons and Dragons strategy video game, and it brings us together. But anyways, there's this Raven Queen, and man, she's a handle. So Idle Champions presents Court of the Raven Queen, and a TRPG live play special event starting Monday, February 21st. Each episode of the Idle Champions Presents will broadcast live from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. That is Pacific time.
It's a dangerous game.
Mondays. Monday, so tomorrow. Well, except February 21st. Yes, that's tomorrow. Yeah, it's tomorrow. On the CNE Games Twitch, twitch.tv/CNE Games. So Court of the Raven Queen features previous D4 guests like BJ Walters as a DM, Lauren Urban as Orkira, Mark Meir as Bailoth, and it also has Aaron M. Evans playing Faraday, Sharif Jackson as Shaka, and also fellow Sunday D&D streamer crew, what's up, hello, and DJ Knight as Desmond. You can vote on the Idle Champions video game every day to unlock rewards, as well as help make decisions that will impact the live D&D game. And no, I'm not reading anything. I'm camera shy today, and I'm
very
just not
seamless.
looking at the camera because I'm just feeling a little self-conscious.
Search all day, you can't find the seam. Seamless.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna, let my mom know I'm good.
Without further ado,
Let us immerse ourselves into the chronicles.
of D4.
Where's that seam?
Hashtag flawless.
Where is that seam?
And we're back.
Woo! Allegedly.
We're allegedly back.
So, last time on a departing Dragonborn and demanding deliberations. The party reunited after the two teams went into the mountain, destroyed Ellerthak Gathala's mining operation run by Manshun's foreman, Barrack Braunhammer. V was able to lead a group of Veteroks to kill the foreman and potentially sway her brother over to her side against their father. With the BFGs rejoined, they celebrate their victory before going to bed when Voss goes to converse with Uthal privately. Unbeknownst to him, Harold suspected this behavior and spied on him invisibly, watching Voss mimic his powers of persuasion. In a heated confrontation, Harold confronts Voss as they argue about the power of what the party decides and how Voss feels he is making all the hard decisions, and Harold feels like he's going to betray them.
The next morning, they are all greeted by the tribe and given a hallucinogenic tea that grants them true sight as they see every Veterok ancestor make their way from the burial mountain of Kuliak to witness the first rite of Varric's epithet to be given in 20 years. The BFGs are called upon to give V her name, and after some deliberation, V is titled the Unbreakable Heart, or Unbreakable for short.
Trying to break up with me.
It's impossible.
It can't be done. Seamless.
After an intense...
Renair puts the stone down. I just can't do it.
Allegedly seamless.
Allegedly.
Allegedly seamless.
Oh man. After an intense celebratory haka of camaraderie and respect, V is approached by the elders of the tribe, and the party join them in the council chambers. As the council, and where all the seats are taken except for one, and that is the chair of the Khan. Without expectations, the council asks V if she accepts the burden of being the Khan of the Veteroks, where she will be the voice of her people, have final decisions on actions, and will even be allowed to leave with the BFGs, but must answer the call of her people when called upon. To which she responds that she is the new Khan.
The elders then single out Orkira and inform her that if she wants, they can send her home. After her friends take the time to recount all the ways that she has helped them, she asks the Phoenix if her mission of helping them is complete, and if she needs to return, in which the Phoenix says it's time. In the time they have left, Orkira teaches Venli how to scry, as Orkira sees tension between Manshun and Ellerthak due to the constant interference and tampering with the shipments from the mountain by the BFGs and their allies.
Vinley then scries on someone from her past and sees an abhorrent creature of both flesh and decay, of nature and arcane, of the material plane and perhaps something beyond, before it sees the seemingly imperceptible scrying orb and dispels it. Seisha asks the Stone of Golor if it works for the Elder Eye, in which it gives her an extremely vague answer that neither confirms nor denies. In response, Orkira communes with the Phoenix to learn that the stone does not in fact serve the Elder Eye directly, but instead serves a sovereignty that works in favor of all the Elder Evils from the Far Realms.
After a discussion about faith, Vinley finds herself alone, far from the sacred valley, as she uses seance to cast a dangerous version of Contact Other Plane, where she is not the medium for a creature's soul, but instead a medium for the Seneschal of the Dead, where she informs him that Bane is dead, which intrigues him, but angers and worries Kellamvor. As Vinley is thrust back to the material plane in her form, the rest of the day is filled with drinking, songs, stories, lullabies, goat ball, and other forms of revelry, as Voss spends most of his time speaking with the indentured miners that were freed from the amber.
At morning's light, the Goliath tribe forcefully conjures open a planar rift into the plane of fire. Orkira protects her friends from the heat as every one of the BFGs except for Voss and Seisha go into the Cathedral of the Phoenix deep within and atop a massive volcano as they share heartwarming goodbyes and mouth-burning, tasty marshmallows. And as they all return back from the burning fires and into the harsh chill of a mountaintop over 20,000 feet above sea level, we're actually going to pick up tonight's story within that hour with Voss and Seisha.
Question. A little bit of a meta question. Was there conversations that people wanted to have kind of in the past before we do this?
What, with who and what? You wanted to have a conversation with-
her and Osvaldo.
Did you want to have a conversation with Osvaldo before this?
No, her.
No.
Oh, you and Osvaldo.
Yeah.
Oh, that will happen later today, if that is.
Okay, all right. If this is the opportunity, then yeah, I'll take it. When the portal opens, I go to find Uthal and Osvaldo then. And I look at you and I say, are you coming?
Where are you going?
Do you want to see how I do my work?
Yes,
Then come with me.
and I follow.
Now, I want to ask at this point, has he been informed at all of the plight of his family?
As much as V has talked to him about, but there hasn't been a big sit down to like.
No.
Okay,
it has
then-
not.
okay,
That
then-
conversation has not happened yet.
Okay,
If you need this to happen after that conversation, that's fine.
I was thinking Uthal. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. That's it. I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
So long as he knows. Does he know his parents are dead?
No, he does not. That
Okay,
conversation
then
is
we
not happening.
can't have this
Yeah, okay,
conversation.
that's what I thought. I
Okay.
think there was a little miscommunication.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It happens. Yeah. So we'll re-pick that up.
Okay,
We know
okay.
you want to talk to him, but we'll cover that.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I gotta.
Yeah, I'm
be like,
not.
hey, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to be the one to break that.
Okay. So
I know
do
you
we
need a
want-
tissue. And I don't have one, but
do we want to start with everybody coming in, and you can have that private conversation
Yeah,
later?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Thank you.
So, everybody, you and Voss are waiting, and you see everybody return from the plane of fire just as the plane shift is closing. Or Kira is not with them.
It is a lot colder out here than I remember.
How was it?
Baron,
Awesome.
hot.
It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Sam.
It's really cool.
I
the
remember
Phoenix
being
was
very hot.
amazing.
Huge, huge, biggest bird I've ever seen.
You saw the phoenix?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just like big old
They're
bird
about,
boy.
They're about the size of Waterdeep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Smaller than I
Yeah.
honestly expected, but it was incredible. So
I don't know why.
We shared marshmallows.
Aww.
I used my new spell. Has it been tens of minutes since I've casted telekinesis to do the
You were gone an
marshmallows?
hour, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I don't have it anymore.
Oh,
But we, it was good. She's okay. She's headed wherever she's needed next.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss her.
Yeah, we all are.
Anyway, what should we be doing? Because we have a lot of fish to catch.
Yeah, I need to have some conversations with Osvaldo and Uthal.
I know you had a... Were we there for her taking con?
Yes.
Yes.
We were in the tent
yeah.
for that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everybody but boss.
Everybody but us.
So you're fully allowed to leave with us.
Yeah, I mean, as long as there's nothing
Pressing.
pressing right now. I mean, I don't know what they would need me for immediately right now.
But when the moment comes, you'll be ready. And
Yep, and
until
I'll
then, we're
just
still.
hopefully we're not trapped somewhere when that happens.
Do you think you could maybe talk to one of the elders and see if they'd be willing to have a conversation with me? I have some questions about extraplanar stuff that they might be able to answer.
Okay, yeah, I can ask.
Okay.
See how they feel.
And if anyone wants to be there for that, you're welcome to.
You want to talk about planar fields? That's what you said? Was that I forgot the words.
Extraplanar
Extraplanar.
questions. Stuff about the far realm and the Astral Sea.
Got it.
and-
This question's about the other planes. Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. Yes, I will ask.
Okay, thanks. So,
Your day.
what are you gonna do?
I can't help but thinking about the fact that, Osvaldo doesn't know his parents are dead.
I want to be part of that conversation.
And I don't really know what to tell him.
I'll come with you and help you do that.
Yeah.
'Cause,
You should just tell him the truth.
I mean, obviously, but like, it's...
But how to break it to him?
Yeah, it's a little delicate, I feel like, and I'm not the most delicate person when it comes to...
I've got it.
I think
I can get that ball rolling at the very least.
I think at some point all of us need to sit down and have a conversation too.
Yep.
Of course. I'll get some things I have to do done. You look into that. You break the news
At what
to
point,
Osvaldo.
Harold, do you think we should do this?
What time is it?
I feel bad waiting.
Oh,
If something had happened to my parents, I'd want to know right away. And he's gonna have questions.
I know.
Let's start with your brother, and then we'll move on to Osvaldo.
Okay. Okay.
So we'll catch y'all.
Okay. Good luck.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
Harold adjusts his jacket, avoids eye contact with the rest of the party, and heads off.
Okay.
With you in tow, I assume.
Yeah, V is very, like, in her mind preoccupied. She doesn't like thinking this much.
Welcome to being con.
Just would rather fight things.
You go to Uthal first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You find him kind of out with a couple other Goliaths, and they seem to be like teaching him. He's got this big like hammer, and he's just like trying to pull it up, and it's just not working. But he's also wearing like more furs than normal. He's like trying to fit in, and he's just like, nope.
You're doing fine, sir. Remember, lift with your legs, not your back.
And he just like throws off the furs back on it and like adjusts his doublet.
He's more of a finesse guy, not really a hammer guy. You should really see him with the sword he has. He's pretty dang good.
I know. I taught him. And you're...
Sir Gregory.
Yeah.
Just who I was looking to talk to. And you see, for the first time, Harold is not being a shitter and is like, has this look in his face like, oh my god, I actually have to talk to you.
How are you, adjusting, I guess?
You see the other Bedrocks just kind of look and just shake their head and like turn. I'm much better when I am off this mountain. I mean, it's lovely and our home, I guess, but I miss feathered bed and
God, me too. I mean,
and
you get used to it.
plumbing.
Yes,
And
me too.
And you see him kind of like almost for the first time, notice something on Evie, and his eyes kind of tilt for a second as he goes down to your neckline. It was...
The antlers.
Yeah, he's looking at that.
Yeah. I sort of broke into the house and stole it. But in my defense, it never belonged to him.
And in
so-
our defense, that is allegedly what happened.
And he's the one who stole it from the Veterox, so like...
Good save. Good save.
Why?
Right? A lot of tall people in town.
Yeah, it,
Why? I'm...
You know, you don't have to be some, like, big beefcake to fit in around here. Like, you know, there's so many people in the Veterock clan who are known for different skills that aren't fighting. You know?
I don't see bureaucrat.
Well, there probably were, and then they probably died. Unfortunately.
Uthal, pusher of papers. No, it doesn't really work.
Unfortunately, whether or not they needed them before, it seems like as things progress, we're going to need somebody like you more and more, in my opinion. So I wouldn't throw away your talent with the papers and the talking to people, because heck, it's got me pretty far.
I mean, when you feel ready, you'll have your own, you know, right. You know, and get your own cool name.
Father was furious about that necklace. Even to the point that he had another noble family investigated.
I'd be pissed too. We stole it.
Allegedly.
Well, it was never his to begin with.
And then you
I don't know why it
planted
was...
the evidence to throw off your tail, which is why it pointed to the Rosnars. It makes sense.
Why would... What evidence could possibly point to the Rosnaz?
Hell, they have evidence we planted.
Oh, we did that?
Yeah, we did do something a little like that. That's sort of what we did. Sort of what we did, Greg. Sort of what we did. Whether or not that stuff actually happened. It wasn't you I ran into in that night in the field, right? It wasn't you.
I thought we took it.
No, you would know. I'm always with Uthal.
I'm just making sure.
Look. My alliance is to Uthal.
Cool.
I'm not a watch member.
I don't know, man. Honestly, you were the only guy I truly remembered that worked with me, mostly because you were the only guy who kept catching me while I was doing things that were totally normal that every person should do occasionally, and you know, we've put all that behind us now, right? That's what we've done.
That decision is not up to me. And as he pointedly looks towards Uthal.
Uthal, buddy! Think of all the fun times we had together!
Oh yes, all of the fun times.
And once again, we can't prove any of that was really me, so...
You know, this isn't really what we need to be talking about right now.
You're
anyways.
right. You're right. She's so right. She's a wise con.
It took 2.5 weeks to get that toupee unglued from my head.
Yeah, that's... God.
Hopperton.
Whoever is involved in that, despite how clever they are, they're probably extremely sorry and working very hard to make things right. What, can you get some gold? What do you want, gold? I can get... You have so much more gold than me. It's probably ridiculous.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I think the title for tonight should be Allegedly.
How many D's does that have in it?
I do want to apologize. I honestly, I don't know why I didn't see something sooner. I feel bad. I should have warned you about last. I heard about last night. I hope that wasn't too uncomfortable.
It was the first familiar thing that I have seen since being on this mountain.
Yeah, he pisses me off a lot. I don't like him.
We're all working on getting together a little bit better. And there's good days and bad days.
I'm just glad he didn't try to hurt you, but I don't put it past him.
It did not seem like he wanted to hurt Uthal, but the propositions he proposed seemed...
I do not I do not disagree with his point of view. It is logical.
The only thing that was unnerving was his approach. In the middle of the night, after most have all gone to bed, that was what caught me off guard.
Yeah, that's kind of what he does.
I'm not here to say what you should do. You, obviously, this is your wheelhouse. Like you said, it's the first thing you understood. It's the first thing you felt comfortable in, despite the fact that it was probably very intimidating. I want you to understand that a lot of what he feels is logical. Like, the direction he wants to take things makes sense. It's just the path he's willing to take to get there.
He has a lot of anger
And
in him.
And he has a whole lot less qualms about doing things that he feels are necessary than the rest of us do. And so I say this to both of you with this knowledge that tread lightly.
I have been raised to navigate nobility. I can assure you, I understand what it means to tread lightly.
And I know you do. I've seen you do it.
And I have been raised and trained to thwart off brigands.
I am not at all trying to say that either of you are out of your depth. That's not the case at all. What I am saying is,
I was nearly in the depth.
yeah.
Not too long ago.
I'm glad that didn't work out that way.
Look, Millie, I appreciate what you're doing. And the fact that you... My judgment has been clouded for a long time. And for the first time, I feel like my eyes are truly open. I promise you, whatever steps I take forward will be carefully thought out, because we are currently balancing on a razor's edge.
Yeah. I feel like you're in a much worse position than I am, and I'm really sorry about that.
It was inevitable.
I mean,
Regardless, I was bound to get cut eventually.
Well,
I don't know how Mom is gonna react to all of this, or what it'll take to get her to join us.
I don't know either. I don't know. One thing that I have noticed from being up here is there are a few things more important to the Veterox than family.
Yeah.
Mom is a Veterox by blood. So I just feel like she has become blinded by father's machinations and promises and
Drowns herself in shopping to neglect her children and her responsibilities.
should have gotten to know Greg a lot sooner.
And
Right.
something that you notice, and there's a little bit of vitriol in his words that he's speaking right now, and you see that he kind of sees himself. What's your passive insight?
16.
16. He sees himself more as a father figure to Uthal.
I assumed as much.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah. While I have you here, I wanted to ask you how. I hate that I don't know the answer to this question because I should. How does Cathalan steel work?
We don't know.
But you were using it.
He was not.
I thought you were.
No, it was
the
the
dwarven miner.
dwarf.
Oh,
Dude,
dang it.
Yeah.
So you don't. I thought maybe you would know.
Father showed it to me once. and explained that once a wielder understands the metal itself, becomes attuned to the vibrations of the liquid steel, that but with a mere thought, depending on what it is forged into, whether it is weapons or armor, with a mere thought you can change it to whatever you need.
That's crazy.
What it does and how it's made, I do not know yet. Father did not.
So it has some sort of psychic connection?
I don't know. I would assume. Or it's the forging process imbues it with part of the weave that then allows you to manipulate it. But again, I don't know.
It explains. Oh, it's so expensive.
How many people do you know that work with your dad that have it?
Not a lot.
I can tell you the guards don't have it.
Okay.
It is a high-priced item, typically on the market for
10 to 12K?
Depending on where it's being sold.
Right.
I've seen it sell closer to 25 to 30.
That makes
And
sense.
I am not a man of numbers, but forgive me, but as I am always around Uthal, my eyes see things that perhaps they should not. The influx from this mine does not correspond to the output of weapon available.
It doesn't.
Interesting.
And it's one of the reasons why I pushed Father to allow me to come here, because the ledgers don't make sense.
That's because they are mining harrow dust for Manchun.
That would explain some of the numbers, but that does not explain for the actual barrel count of mercurial metal.
So to me, it says...
So is he collecting it somewhere else and saving it for himself somewhere?
He could be giving it to somebody else. It
Don't
could be
know.
a difficult process to make it work the way it's supposed to work, and so they have to have a large amount of it in order to either...
Like there's some that are like duds or something?
Yeah, like you know...
How do you test something like that?
Or it takes a lot more than,
Yeah.
you know,
When it's refined.
when it's
then.
refined, it utilizes a lot more resources. I don't know, but
Could be
I
a
want to
lot.
find out.
Yeah, that's...
Millie, I would like to talk to your group, because we're at a crossroads of what to do, and I have an idea of what I would like to do, but I'm also terrified of what he is going to do when he finds out. And when he finds out, because he will find out, you know he will.
I know. It's just a matter of when and how. I mean,
I have done so much wrong by my naiveness and
You can lose.
my negligence of seeing what was in front of me the entire time. I want to make it right.
There's that, but I will say this. I will not allow Uthal to become a martyr for you.
No.
not what? No.
I don't want to be a martyr.
we wouldn't put him in any sort of position where we thought Uthal might be in danger if he didn't, you both didn't agree to it. I mean, it would be his choice. We're not his bosses.
And as great as this is, and learning of mother's side of the family, I'm still Gathala. What would we have done and built? There can still be good in it.
I mean, technically Uthal is a stolen name because he was essentially banished. So meaning like if Dad were to go back to the Gathalan clan, they would pretend he doesn't exist, that he's not there, like he's dead to them. He just took the name and moved on, made something somewhere else.
But
But
what
that
you're
making
saying,
something somewhere else is we're a noble house. We're the first and only Goliath noble house, probably on all of Toril.
Yeah, and we're criminals.
But only technically you, sort of. As far as everybody else knows, Uthal's just on a business trip and heading back home. Now, granted, they're eventually going to find out, but what he's saying has got some weight to it. I think what you're trying to say is, like, you know, we are in charge of a noble house. We have the resources and stuff. We could use all of that. Is that what you're getting at?
In a sense, yes, there is.
There's the threat of Ellerthek. So
Of course.
We're going to have to converse about what your plan is for that.
I wanna
Gather your group. We'll talk later.
that.
Perfect.
I have ideas, but I want to know what you think as well, and what your new family thinks.
I think that toupee looked great.
Harold.
What?
Blisters.
I'm sorry. Look,
For a
there's
month.
you have healers on. Forget it. Greg, can I?
That solvent has literally is forever.
I know.
You have to have a specific,
I know.
hardest to find in Toril solvent to remove it. Do you understand that it costs 75,000 gold to get the solvent to remove?
I swear that was entirely just me getting super unlucky, and that's all that is. It was just me getting really unlucky.
Hey.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Amazing.
And I think with that,
He wanted to speak to Sir
Yeah, just
Gregory.
Greg.
yeah.
And Gregory actually nods because I actually wanted to ask you something as well.
Perfect. Great. Awesome. And I will take him very far away from everybody,
Okay.
where he can still see Uthal.
Yeah, and I think as you step aside, I think Uthal steps up to you, and so grandmother comes out of you.
Yeah, I don't know how it works.
We'll fade away from that as we.
And so as he's talking, going back to what we were talking about before, your alleged involvement in the rare urn that had its matching twin that was taken from the estate, that just so happened to waddle its way to the Rosnars.
Is that the word we're using? Waddle? Yes, it did do that.
How would an urn walk, Harold? How would it walk?
You've got a great point now that you nailed it. I'm sorry, man. You're totally right. It would waddle. Okay. What was the question there? What was it?
What do you know of Esvel Rosnar?
Let me look at my notes. It's been a while since I've...
Quick reference, it's their daughter.
Right. I know of her, but I don't know much about her. I know that she's...
A celebrity, a dancer.
Yes.
Yes.
I know that stuff. Why? Why are you asking?
So, when the Watch were involved, the Lord and Lady seemed confused because to them, it was a gift. Something that just appeared.
Mm-hmm.
However, the Watch said, and I noticed, that Esvel seemed a little bit more nervous about their presence, but not really about the urn.
Trying to think back. You found the one guy you shouldn't ask, Greg.
If you don't know anything, that's fine. I'm just trying to put pieces together myself.
People probably remember better than I do. You have to understand, getting this far, I was a dog for a little while. All right? I was eaten by a crocodile at one point. I've been killed before. A lot of this stuff, when you stack it all up, the vase seems pretty small on the totem pole.
And I am an owl wearing a human skin.
I've heard about somebody like that, and he's very dangerous. I think they call him Humphrey or something. Listen, the point is, I can't tell you the details, not because I don't want to, but because I genuinely am having a hard time remembering if I was even a part of that. I remember going into the house, allegedly, and I remember things getting stolen, allegedly. I remember all that.
Yes.
But as far as the Rosnars go, I don't... Did Harold have any sort of, like, connection to that?
No, somebody at this table.
I figured it.
Yeah.
I just don't know if you've had
Yeah.
that conversation.
I don't think we have. So
yeah.
Harold will
I
kind
don't feel bad about anything I
shake
do.
his head. He's going to...
Yeah, V was like, I have no idea what you're talking
He's gonna
about.
say, you know what that sounds like? It sounds like some stuff Voss did. That's the whole reason I wanted to talk to you.
So Esvel was not a part of your alleged group that broke into.
No.
Okay.
Definitely not that. I know that much.
You know, people said that there was a tiefling and an Abishai.
We're pretty good. So the thing I wanted to bring up to you, I heard the conversation you had last night. Friendly piece of advice. Never let Voss behind you for any reason. Always keep him at your front. Never let him walk behind you or Uthal ever, for any reason whatsoever. Don't trust anything he says yet. Wait. Make him verify. And always be ready. Because you just never know with that guy. That's what I'm learning.
His sudden appearance in the middle of the night made me wary of that.
That's
I
what
will
was
also say his arguments and proposals did seem well leveled.
And that's how he gets you.
But my eye never leaves Uthal, and you can see that the way he's positioned himself.
literally. LARP style. He will nod and will say, I want to believe that guy is a trustworthy, good man who really has the best at heart for everybody. But the last time I ignored my feelings and thought that, a lot of people got hurt.
And I want to believe that Ellerthak pushes his children because he wants them to be strong.
But it's tough to believe when you're looking right at them and you're seeing the way things actually are. And so I don't know what the play is there, but I know the guy hates nobles. And I know that's one of the things he brings up. The guy can't get through a goddamn dinner without telling us how much he hates nobles.
They are pretentious.
Well, unfortunately, Uthal still is one. So that much having been said, it puts a target on his head, and that means there's a target on your head. So be wary of the things he says, because at the end of the day, I think if he had it his way, all the mages and all the nobles in the city would be dead. And considering Uthal fits one half of that bill and I fit the other half, not exactly thrilling theater for me.
He has a lot of work cut out for him then.
He's done a lot of the groundwork already. He's got a sizable foothold in Waterdeep in the underground. And up until this point, I genuinely just thought that he just wanted security for everybody. But after hearing what he said to you and the way he said it, I just can't help but think he's up to something. And as the guy who's normally up to something, I can't have somebody stepping on those tailcoats. It's mine. That's mine. The coattails, whatever. It's mine. I make the problems. I don't need real problems. The city doesn't need real problems. And you don't.
Okay. What have you done to me this time?
Nothing yet. God, and he takes the kick me sign and wads it up. God, you're too quick. One too many kick me signs. They never did kick you, though. I wouldn't kick you either. You'd kick my ass.
Was
But-
this a ruse for your
No,
trickery?
it really isn't, Greg. I'm genuinely very sorry for the way I treated you when I was staying there. Genuinely. You and Uthal.
You were a pompous ass.
I am. Yeah.
You treated me incredibly unfairly.
Unbelievably unfairly. I want to make that right. And I can't do that because I don't think giving you something would make that right. I don't think there's enough money in the world to buy trust. I think that if you give me enough time with you and Uthal, I'll prove to you that I really do have your best interests at heart, and I'll make it up to you somehow.
And he steps forward and puts a gauntleted hand on your shoulder and goes,
Do you see nerve, like sweat begin beating on his forehead? Like, oh God, I'm about to get my ass kicked.
I look forward to this reformations. But he's not squeezing or anything.
No, I know, but Harold's... mm-hmm.
You did bring levity. And you've done good. And he looks towards V.
Well, not always. Not even always did I do right by her, but I proved to her that I've changed, and I can do the same for you and Uthal. If you need anything, you can always ask me.
Yeah. And he'll go to give you a hug,
I will hug him.
and he'll knee you right in the groin.
Oh, I earned it! As I hit the ground, I earned it! Oh, God, this is for the sticky chair, huh?
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, that solvent really came in handy a few times.
You know, Gathala made me pay for that chair and replacing my cloak.
That's a shame. It's really unfair they did that to you, really.
Yeah, the air's very thin up here. I just probably lie down.
I just gotta lay down.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, just walk it off.
Yeah, that's gonna be difficult. And that's where we've got there.
Alright. We'll move on over to Seisha.
Yeah. I guess, we can have, if V, or Unbreakable, if you so wish, to have some of the elders gather and talk to Seisha. Easy enough.
All right, cool. I ask it, and they say,
As you wish, Con.
sick. All right.
It's cool being the boss.
Look at that.
That was really cool.
They will ask if it is a private matter that needs to be spoken in the council chamber, or if it is something that can just be out in the open.
I think it's private. Oh. Yeah,
I mean,
you're the one to decide.
Well, with what you all do, I don't think that keeping this information from any of you, and I'll be explaining it to our group, so I don't see a reason for confidentiality. No, it's fine. Thank you. We've been encountering a lot of extraplanar forces, specifically dealing with the Far Realms. And I haven't really had great sources of information, but I was hoping that perhaps you could shed some light on some of the things I've been wondering.
Yes, let me go get one of... I will get Star Speaker. And brings over another Goliath. And named Monakeo, Star Speaker. But greets you.
I have a few questions about the Far Realm and Dinsians thereof. I recently heard something about the Astral Sea of the Far Realm. Do you know what that is?
In our communications with some of the others that were trapped more recently, we have come to learn that there has been a great sundering, one of which is equal in power to the one that happened over 140 cycles ago. You would know this to be. Yeah. It concerns us that these beings from beyond the stars have such power here, even after they were cut off from this world. Through this sundering. We feel we can only blame ourselves for not being strong enough to be here to protect Toro. But we will share what we know.
And the group of elders spends the next 30 minutes going over information about the space beyond the stars, all of which is the knowledge Seisha already knows from personal experiences and from the heavy amount of research you have been able to do so far. They will go into theories of how the Far Realm works, and that although your friend Orkira was from another sphere, both cosmologies share the same Far Realm, as all cosmoses are threatened and tethered by the same Far Realm, or space beyond the stars, as they call it. The elders tell you that it is theoretically comprised of an infinite number of interwoven layers that experience neither time nor gravity, and each layer could be seen as an alternate reality layered on top of another, resulting in an endless shifting weave of chaos and improbability from one moment to the next, resulting in imperceivable, tormenting storms that bend the will of reality.
Yeah, we've all seen the timeline.
Yeah, the time knife. We've all seen it.
They will
Makes
then
sense.
they will then tell you about the Astral Sea and generically how it works. How it is a colorful storm of nothingness and everything all at once that connects the material plane to the outer planes. How time seems seemingly endless, and it is a means for gods to communicate with us from the outer planes, and it is also the final resting place for the dead and fully forgotten, unworshipped gods. However, the big information that ties the two together is they will tell you about a gateway known as the Living Gate.
They tell you it was a direct link to the Far Realm that could portal in full elder evils, not just aberrations or avatars. It is unknown how many of these gates exist in the cosmos, but the only ones ever recorded were one in the Astral Sea and one the Imascari built under influence of worshippers from the Amber King to show them the kingdom of creation Carcosa, both confirmed to be destroyed. The one in the Astral Sea was destroyed eons ago, sometime after the first Sundering, and the one the Imascari built was destroyed by the emergence of the Amber King.
Could they be rebuilt?
They tell you that it is not probable.
Yeah.
As both were destroyed divinely.
Have you ever heard of an entity called the Harbinger of Unknowing?
They do not know that moniker.
Okay. Do you know of a creature that has 3 eyes and consumes knowledge?
There are a myriad of creatures. It could be. Because the beings from beyond the stars do not hold to form in a way that we deem natural. Some, even greater beings, do not exist in the way our mind forces itself to perceive them, as we are unable to comprehend their true nature and form. However, the one constant being perceived and notated to have only 3 eyes are the slime mages. Stories say they were birthed from a red comet known as the Blood Queen. The slime mages are massive eel-like amphibious entities and consider themselves akin to gods.
Pardon me, I don't mean to eavesdrop, but I couldn't help but overhear. Are you talking about aboliths? The aberrant creatures with savant minds?
And you see a very well-dressed Karaturan woman in her mid-30s with fair, cool, fawny skin and silky black hair tied up in a top-knot bun. She smiles warmly from behind round spectacles that rest on the bridge of her soft-featured nose. She looks scholarly in her layered cool green khaki kimono that ends just below the knee, accentuating her tall leather tabby boots. She stands patiently, waiting for invitation to join the conversation as you notice the wedding band wrapped around her finger. And V, you recognize this as Julien Carnacle, your former history teacher.
Oh!
The one that went missing?
That was
Yeah.
great.
No, they mentioned that.
Yeah.
Does her name all of a sudden come back to me, or?
Go ahead and make a history check. But yeah, we're not
Okay.
gonna make you roll at disadvantage.
Alright.
Hey.
That's a 21.
Oh, 100%. You definitely. It was hard pulling memories of her until you saw her face and her speak and everything about her. But yes.
You said it was Carmichael?
Julin Carnacle.
Yeah.
But so you would know
Carnacle.
Mrs. Carnacle.
Miss Carnacle! Mrs. Carnacle.
Miss Cathala, or sorry, Veterock, forgive me, I'm still, mine's a little, things are, different.
Do you know?
That's the teacher who taught me the farm realm stuff that I forgot about and then re-remembered when we went there, and it was scary, and I was like, why do I know things? And it was this lady, and I could kind of see her face in my head, but I couldn't really see anything else, and like, I couldn't remember her name, but now I know. That's really weird. What kind of spell is that?
It may just be an effect of when we were on a beer that
No,
It
I meant
tied you to
like
the knowledge.
the losing the memories
Oh.
of her existing ever.
there's a lot of things that could do that.
Okay. Anyways, don't do it again. Not you, but like, I don't know. I hope it never happens to me
I
again.
didn't do it.
Yes.
Yeah, Aboleth.
Oh, yes. What do you want to know?
What are they? Slime mages, you said?
Yeah, well, some scholars say that aboleths were the first creatures to ever touch Toril, tens of thousands of years before any other sentient life, including the creator races, ever found their way here. Now, they also say that their incredible intellect is because they carry the knowledge of all of its previous ancestors, like the way you pass down stories, but instead it's genetic memory with acute accuracy and recollection.
That makes sense. What are they like?
I mean, it's odd.
How are they motivated?
Oh, they really, really want to know things.
Right.
Why do you know this? I mean, more like, why were you teaching me about this stuff?
Oh, well, I was, it's one of the things I know. I'm more knowledgeable about the planes themselves, the outer planes, and I've always had just a fascination of the far realm, just because it's just theoretical in sense, and so I tended to lose myself in my studies back in university, but so I. Not necessarily my topic of study, as that's the planes themselves, and mostly the upper and lower planes, the ethereal plane,
okay,
the
but-
Astral Sea, Elysium, and upper. But anyway, the wheel itself.
Right, but like, why were you teaching it to me? That wasn't
Because-
what you were assigned to teach me.
You're Federock.
Why do I need to know very specifically about the farm?
I
And all its
taught you
creatures.
because I overheard your father mention having something to do with it,
And
and I wanted you to be safe.
well, what did he say?
Something about an ember god.
Amber King.
Amber King.
Yes, that was it. Yes.
He's one of the elder evils.
That's a far realm creature.
Yes, there's this mountain.
Yes.
Fascinating,
is he
actually.
here?
And, I will say that becoming encased and traveling to Carcosa was absolutely
Whoa!
horrible and terrible.
Whoa! I'm sorry. You traveled to Carcosa?
What's Carcosa?
But well,
And you see all of the tribe members. We were all there.
Wait, you weren't like in a coma in Iraq? You were somewhere?
oh no, we were there and forced to create things that were just
More compelled.
yeah.
What?
The Amber King feeds off desire and creativity. So they were basically trapped and forced to feed him.
Oh my god, so you're like in a eternal finger painting class. That's terrible.
Not all of us were painters.
But in a sense, yeah. But you're finger painting with your fingers where they're literally just continuing to whittle down to the bone.
Oh my god! Literal finger painting.
Yes, literal.
Oh my god.
Absolute
Terrifying.
just. It was terrible, but you know
Glad you have your fingers
fascinating
back.
though.
What do you remember about it?
Oh, not a lot. There was a. When first arrived, and there was a lake of mercury for anything else,
And the city floated above it.
and it like dripped down into it, and then there was these wheels that you got into, and they took you up to the city that just dripped this silver liquid, and then the streets were just it just all kind of.
The silver liquid, did it look like the Gathalan steel?
I am unfamiliar with what that is.
Ah, okay.
It's this creepy, weird psychic steel that can like warp shape based off of your mind.
I think it's the bones of the Amber King.
What?
It looked similar to what was in when you pulled us out of the, I guess, amber we were encased in.
Yes.
It was all on the ground, like all over. It was very similar to that.
Was that Gathalan steel that was in the ground?
It looked like the. So there's the amber.
Is it the stuff that was in the altar?
No, okay,
No.
hold on. So there's the amber.
Yeah.
And then going through the amber, which you know is encephalon material, or basically brain matter.
Yeah.
The neurons and blood vessels is basically what it looked like, were the thin strings of mercury, and as you saw the mercury look like rivers
Yeah.
inside of the amber.
Okay.
And that looks exactly like mercury.
Got
and
it,
silver
okay.
liquid. And it also corresponds to the silver liquid that has been in barrels that you've knocked over and
That's-
seen
yeah,
and stuff
okay.
like that.
That's not Gathalan steel.
Right, okay.
It is a
It is a component. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. The Amber King is here in the mountain, right? And
We gotta kick him out.
no,
No?
he's locked away.
Oh.
He's locked away.
Okay.
So as long as the Veterock can redo the seals that were destroyed,
That is already in place.
wonderful.
Gather your team. We'll tell you the story of Elerthak.
Okay. One more question, real quick. Is there any chance you could go down into the caves and draw a sigil throughout the mines?
It seems possible. You mean the actual mines, not
Yes,
the
The
prison.
mines. There's the symbol for something called the Red Wing, and it would be really handy if we could plant that in the mines. It would lead attention away from you and us.
Another one speaks up. As we make the seals of imprisonment more secured and re-place them, we suspect that the miners will have their consciences come
Restored.
back, yes. So we will have plans to retrieve them. So while we are down in the mines, it is possible. What is this red wing?
It's a symbol that it's an Ouroboros with 3 red, very stylized wings coming off it, and I sketch it into the dirt. It's part of something that Harold actually has been doing, and it, like I said, it would throw some of the attention off both your people and ours.
They look towards the Unbreakable.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad idea, you know, to help throw in the red herring.
Yeah, exactly.
Red wing, red herring. Oh my
Yeah,
god, do you think
that's
he did that
really
on
good.
purpose? Do you think he really...
He might have.
Oh my god.
That's really good. Wow.
I feel so stupid for like not realizing it until just now.
As long as you can promise it will not. You say it is to thwart those from suspecting us or coming after us or you. If you can promise that, then I see no reason why we could not paint these sigils upon the walls.
I can promise that. You may need to be the one to do it.
To paint them?
Yeah.
I'm not artistic.
You can't be scryed on, V. Someone could go down and scry those marks and find out who it was who illustrated them.
Do not worry, we can do that.
Okay.
That's not how it works.
I don't know really how scrying works.
I don't know anything about
Yeah,
scrying.
you
You can't
can't-
scry on me.
I mean, like, you can't look in the past.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean,
You
that
can
would be
only
really
look-
neat. I would, as a,
Well, that would be amazing,
as a
wouldn't it?
scholar and a historian, I think that would be fantastic.
At some point,
to-
when you get back to Waterdeep, we need to have lunch.
I need to meet this
Oh.
woman.
If you go back to Waterdeep.
You see
Do you want to go
Just-
back to it?
her heart drops into her stomach.
I've been told it's 1492 now.
Yes.
That means 8 years has passed since the night I was taken. Yeah.
Oh. And Seychelle looks at her ring. Oh.
Yeah, I remember one evening my husband was working a graveyard shift and I heard a clatter downstairs and I figured it was my husband returning home from work. Then I found my house was broken into by bandits or brigands that commanded flying serpents as pets.
Zentarum.
I tried to scream out for the watch, but nothing came out. I couldn't even hear my own voice or the sounds of my struggle against the three that kidnapped me and knocked me out. The last thing I remember was awakening in the dark, surrounded by stone, while a creeping voice took over my mind and shackled me to the mountain, eventually leading me to the city painted in amber, Argosa. From the whispers I heard, I can only assume was under the orders of my former employer, Lord Gathala. If he sent me here to be consumed by the mountain, I can't return to Waterdeep. If he finds out I'm alive, my life will be forfeit, or possibly worse, not to mention my husband.
Unless
Where do you want to go instead?
we could go tell your husband you're here.
I've been gone for 8 years. My husband and I were already drifting apart. I don't want to add any more pain and confusion to his life by seeking him out. But I think I would actually like to stay here and learn more of the knowledge of this amazing tribe of Goliaths, if that's okay.
Yeah, you can stay.
You heard the Khan. The Khan said it's okay. So,
I'll go get everybody else, and we'll be here in just a moment.
Okay. What conversations do you guys want to have next? Do you want to have this one about Ellerthak, or
I just wanted to send
I know,
Yeah.
I gotta talk to Osvaldo for Logan's sake.
Thank you. Thank you.
that's fine. Harold, you get yourself up after some time. You find and you see Osvaldo, and he is really enjoying being around.
No.
You want him to be depressed?
Yes, a little bit. Make it maybe a little easier.
He's really enjoying, like, you, to put a terrible word on it for you right now, the familial culture of this nomadic tribe.
Of course he's enjoying it.
That's okay. It's so nice having parents.
I forgot. Just remind me, what happened to the little siblings again?
They
The siblings were going to be taken care of by the head servant.
Okay, just because he's.
I thought they went to.
they are with the hailing horses.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
That's
the
right.
the hailing
They,
what?
they
Hailing
have
horse.
they have been adopted by the hailing horse noble family.
What I said was first. That came after.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm about to say they can't just be raised by the servant their whole lives. Okay. Cool.
So Harold will kind of look to you and say, "We have to do it at some point.
I know, the longer we wait, the worse it'll be.
Let's go." Osvaldo, what's up, man?
Hey.
Oh, Harold, how have you been?
Different. How have you been?
You know, the rumors about you and her were rampant.
What?
About us?
What?
No.
No, of course, you were my betrothed. I'm just saying that,
Oh.
like, you were always this little shit that kind of
Oh yeah, that's
away.
absolutely all those rumors. 100% true. Little shit rumors. Everyone you've ever heard, especially the solvent one. Yeah, that one. I found out that one's totally true.
That one was you.
I had my doubts, but then they went
Do you
and
have any
confirmed it.
idea how expensive that is?
Yeah, 75,000.
Oh.
Yeah. It became a lot less funny after that, but then I laughed harder because I was scared. And then, anyway, I got kneed in the balls. So let's focus on.
I'm sorry, I did not know you were such a man of wealth. It's obvious why you were chosen to
Oh
be
no.
our etiquette teacher.
He didn't pay for it.
Yeah, that's not. Listen, we need to talk about something a little more serious, real quick. If you've got some time.
You might want to.
I did actually have a question.
Yes.
We are here to answer anything you need.
How long have I been gone?
8 years, is that right?
No,
Tw-
3.
3
3
years.
years have been
It's-
gone. That the teacher's been gone since I was.
You've been gone about 3 or
3
so
years?
9 years by my estimation.
What 3?
9 for me.
Oh well,
That's
for
a long
you
story.
it'll be
Is it because
3.
you're a half elf?
It's because he lived in a bag for 6 years.
I fell on hard times. Like,
But
we
for
need to-
us, it was 30 seconds.
Wow. Okay, this is
Yeah,
fascinating.
but before we get into the fascinating nature of that stuff, we really have some.
I have to know what was the rumors of my sudden absence.
You.
We had there was a lot of rumors.
The
People-
main one being that you were dead.
Yeah, that seemed to be. I mean, after a year of looking, and I mean,
We
people
even
were-
asked a phoenix god, and they literally said, maybe.
We couldn't find you under any circumstances. We tried everything. After a while of just searching, it just became apparent either you weren't in the city anymore, never intended on returning, or you were.
I must have hurt them so bad. How are my parents?
Oh, that's the question.
Okay, so-
that's the
so-
question.
so
So
I've
here's
been
the thing.
missing for 3 years.
I know.
They think
Yeah.
I'm dead.
No,
yeah.
yeah.
You need to step over with me
Well,
for a
they
second.
didn't give up hope completely. It was just a rumor, and obviously, you know, the hope was that you're alive somewhere, but it was never.
But-
No one really believed you just up and left.
Well, thanks to you and your friends, that's now a truth, and we can go back and I can be reunited with my parents. and my-
Osvaldo,
okay.
Osvaldo,
I
we
need
need to tell you something
You
serious.
to sit down.
Yeah, you need to sit down.
I don't like what.
You're not.
I know. But I am taking this tone because I respect you, and I think you're an important guy, and I want you to hear firsthand what has gone on in those 3 years you've been gone. There's no easy way to put this, man. Your parents got involved with some very bad people.
They didn't. Sorry.
Some people that manipulated your parents and made them feel that they were the only option. And I want you to understand, when you went missing, it was one thing, but it's his siblings, right? His
Yeah,
siblings are
his
the ones that
younger
got
siblings.
sick.
Yeah.
Yes.
When your siblings,
What are their names?
Are they alive?
they're alive.
Yes.
They're okay. All right. Your siblings are. They got very sick.
And after
I-
losing you, your parents were desperate for anything to help them.
They went to the gods. They went to every healer and cleric they could find. They went to more nefarious sources and couldn't find help there.
They were tricked to go to nefarious reasons.
But all the traditional
Was it your
nefarious.
father?
What? No, my dad didn't.
No.
No, 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 no,
When
no.
I say nefarious, I'm not talking like scary nobles in town. I'm talking demonic. They were looking for any help they could get at that point because they just couldn't find help anywhere else. I know.
No.
I know. Just hear me out. You don't have to believe me. Just hear me out. I promise I wouldn't lie to you about something like this. And I know that's weird coming from me because you knew the old me, but trust me when I'm telling you that I wouldn't sit here and lie to you about this, okay? They went to every person they could find, every single group, and couldn't find help when they needed it. And finally, somebody showed up and offered them help. That somebody was a very dangerous member of the people that locked you in that amber in the first place, I think.
So it was your father.
I'm not sure.
It's likely that he had a hand in it, but I don't think that that's who your parents went to. I think that,
Where are they?
man, that's a tough question to answer. They
Did something.
they housed a party with a lot of the noble houses in town. We were all there, and I don't know how to tell you this, man. They sacrificed a lot of people. They turned them into abominations. I know. I didn't want to believe it either, man. You have to understand. I loved your parents so much. It was just, they were desperate. And so they did what desperate people do. They looked for any port in a storm, and they did what it wanted, and a whole bunch of people ended up hurt and dead.
Right, we were there.
We were there,
We didn't know it. There was a disguised as a gala.
and we did everything we could to stop it. And then when the smoke cleared, it was pretty obvious that it was your parents. And
They were arrested.
they were arrested, and the time came where the discussion came about the right way to punish them, and I tried. I tried, man. I gave it everything I had.
I know what the code legal says.
I'm sorry. Oh God, I'm sorry. I tried. You have to believe me. I gave it everything I had. This is what I do, and I can't explain it to you. I just couldn't. I couldn't. And I want you to know they loved you so much. They loved everyone so much. I was with them till the last moment. I didn't want them to go alone. But
I promised them that no matter what, I would find you somehow, whether you're alive, you were figure out what happened. That was my final promise to them.
your brother and sister are okay. They're with the hailing horses now because they offered to help raise them. And I'm sure they'd be thrilled to know you're back.
And they're not sick anymore.
They're not sick anymore. It's a lot. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But you needed to hear it from people who were involved, not from somebody else. And if you want to blame somebody, man, blame me, because I was...
What did you do?
What, Harold?
Because it's
How,
the one...
how can their choices...
Man, you don't know how good I am at talking to people. And it's
Harold, that's not... You had nothing to do with this.
It's...
You didn't force anyone's hand in this.
Regardless of whose fault it is and what happened, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
And I promise you, man, you're not going back to the city alone. We're here with you, and I'll help you through whatever you need.
The first thing I have to do it's now my duty to raise Elzarina and Terenzio. But if my parents did what you said, I have to denounce the family's name, nobility, and titles. We would always live in the shadow of their evil deeds, whether for forced reasons or desperation or not. Our house name will forever be tainted in Waterdeep.
I'm sorry, Osvaldo.
It's their choices. We all make our own choices. Perhaps we could find refuge in one of the neighboring towns nearby. Daggerford, perhaps.
No, don't.
No, don't go to
Well,
Daggerford.
Daggerford's kind of nice now. They have a cat man, but it's not important. The point is,
Man,
Don't
it's
worry
a long
about it.
story.
No,
no,
different. A man who thinks he's a cat.
The point is, I don't think you should have to leave the city you love and know. If you want to renounce that stuff, you can. But I believe fully, after everything I've been through, anything can be rebuilt.
It takes ages.
Everyone knows you had no involvement. You weren't there.
It doesn't matter. There are rumors of houses in human trafficking
I know.
years ago, and they were exiled, and no one spoke their name for fear of affiliation.
You have to understand, though.
And that was rumors.
Your parents were treated with the utmost respect and elegance that could be expected of the situation. I want you to know that if you are, this is your path, and whatever you want to take is right, man. If you want to renounce all that, you can, but you can hold your head high knowing that they knew what they did, and they regretted it, and they loved everyone in their lives. None of that was fake or false. They cared about every single person, and they cared about you, and they didn't want what happened. They didn't want it. And by the time that it came around, there was no other choice, and you deserve to know.
The regret they felt, it's a shame. They weren't proud.
They weren't.
They didn't want to.
They weren't bad people. And no matter what anybody tells you, I know. I was there, and I spoke to them, and I know they were good people. Maybe the nobles and the city will forget that name, but I won't. That's all I have to say, man. You just deserve to hear it from people involved.
Obviously, there's no good way to tell anyone this information, and I'm sorry that we had to.
Stop saying sorry.
Okay,
I need time to think.
I know.
I need time to process this. So, thank you for telling me, but I need to be alone now.
Of course.
Yeah.
And be with Harold and leaves.
You watch as he just kind of walks off to find a quiet place in the mountain, away from the village and the tribe.
Harold turns to V. Did we handle that right?
I don't know if there was a better way.
I wish I...
It's not your fault. You really shouldn't blame yourself.
Yeah.
You're a persuasive person, but what they did, we didn't know.
If I had just had one more day, I could have saved them. Just one more day.
I hate that I really thought Osvaldo was like dead or undead or something.
Hey,
I honestly didn't expect just everyone to be okay. I'm just on a horrifying vacation for a few years.
it's all right, Everybody did what they did with the knowledge they had, and we all wanted something different to happen, but the fact remains they did what they did.
I know, and with everything that happens with us all the time, and I'm still just anticipating the worst.
Yeah. Hey,
I feel like maybe I would have made a different choice if I had thought
if it's not
of
on
the
me,
positive.
if it's not on me, then it's not on you.
I had a choice.
I love you, V.
You too, Harold. And be a good Harold to hug.
He'll hug Harold. He'll hug V back.
Yeah, he hugs himself.
He just
It's okay, buddy.
It's okay, but you got kicked in the nuts today. It's good. And I think that's a good place to end that.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Katie a hug.
Oh, yeah, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Actually saw me. And over here, like, yeah, it's up.
So,
Meeting Uthal now.
we could even meet with Uthal, if you so wish. Everybody join and meet with Uthal to talk about that. Could meet with the elders to talk about Ellerthag.
Before we get to the group settings,
Yeah.
while all those conversations were taking place, Vinley had returned to the site that she performed the ritual at the previous day.
Okay, you see that through either nature and the wind or whatever, it seems kind of just
Perfect.
covered.
She stands there and she has... Yeah, she'll bring out all three of her familiars. And she'll just stand there for a majority of the time by herself with her familiars, just taking in the cold air and letting them see the mountain of the Goliath death goddess that I can never remember the name.
Kuliak.
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 Kuliak. Let them take that in as a sign of respect and reverence. She takes a few deep breaths, starts twisting the ring on her hand, and then closes her eyes and casts Sending.
Okay.
Long silence. Amiria. We should probably talk. It's your sister. And she sends it away very quickly.
Oh shit.
You know it goes through. You get nothing in response.
She looks at Tassar and says, she was never good about getting back to people. I'm sure it'll happen. And then she just waits, sitting on that mountain, until one of her friends comes and gets her. As she goes down a rabbit hole inside of herself of thinking, okay, I just took this action. She hasn't answered. Is it paying off? Did I just condemn myself? Am I dead? Well, it's fitting that I'm here if I'm dead. And then she's playing through all of that with all of her familiars, and she's just looking at them all in confusion at this point, and they're probably all just kind of staring blankly back at her. So anyone walking by would think,
You
something
stepped a
strange.
ways away, and there's
Yeah.
only one other person in this group that would kind of know that area. Would
Sure.
Yeah. So you see, at some point, you see Vinley walking alone by herself with a purpose back to that place. But
Do you want me to make a stealth roll to see if I can follow her effectively?
sure.
Probably 31.
no, I actually do see you.
Passive is
magic
just so
eye.
high.
But unlike the previous day, there's nothing as
Do I
glorious.
hear this conversation?
Do you speak it out louder in your head?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. And she's definitely sitting there talking to herself.
Okay.
Well, talking to her friends.
I give it about 5 minutes pass, and then I will walk up and say, quite a sight.
Jesus. What did you say?
Quite a sight.
Yes. She's awe-inspiring, truly. I wonder how much magic it would take to reanimate that. It would be disrespectful, and this is a hypothetical situation. She targets towards the mountain.
It's an interesting question. I couldn't give you an answer to that.
So, how are you, boss?
Focused. determined.
Could have fooled me. Harold heard you.
I know.
He told everyone, boss.
I know. What did he say specifically?
Oh, it was nothing major. It was just right after we woke up, we heard that you were conniving to kill Elithak again and that you wanted to destroy all mages. So that was refreshing
I didn't
to hear.
say that.
Oh. You know how you know how sending works.
Yes.
Only so many words you can get in, things get lost in translation.
I said to Ultho, I'm tired of living in a city ruled by Manchun, by a constant resurrecting Xanathar, and by a magic that seems to plague its streets. Kill the Blackstaff, kill the mages, as if I'm not a god. I have limits. But I think you can agree the city is plagued with aberrant magic.
I think what is happening in the city is truly disgusting. However, I don't let people hear me say that.
I don't have the ability to turn myself invisible, much fun as it is to sneak up on you. Nor do I have the ability to send to others, nor do I have the ability that any of the rest of you have. I must work within the means that I am, rather than focusing on my weaknesses.
Or you could work with us and elevate your skills to what we have, and we could combine them and do something so much greater than what you alone could accomplish. Because I do agree with you. V's father is a dead man. But not to us. You heard what Arkira said, boss. You think you are going to take him on, much less me or Harold?
Oh no, but when would I ever face him in a fair fight?
You're a man with a weapon, so is he. His weapon's just better.
Where to fight counts for a lot. And when to fight counts for a lot too. By the time we're done here today, we're going to be solving a lot of issues. It's going to require us to sacrifice something we may not want to. But in this case, as with Uthal, it's the right decision, as with Elithak. I'm making the right decision here. I know I am. You can disagree with it all you want, that's your prerogative. Hell, as Harold has already made, he's planned out to stop me, even subvert me. You need to understand, this is the first time I've ever had conviction. Ever believed in something beyond myself. And the fact of the matter is, the planes the rest of you are traveling may be beyond me.
What do you mean by that? What sacrifice are you talking about?
Let's get back to camp. I'll explain there.
Okay.
Okay.
And the long trek that it was to get to where you were, and the long trek back, and the conversations you have. You can say all of the conversations that have happened have happened. What do you all want to do next?
Elders or Uthal, which would you guys like to do?
Elders would probably be quicker.
Okay, do that then.
Let's go.
If everybody's okay with that?
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Elders first then.
Okay. So you all come together at, say, around lunchtime and feast while the story is being told.
Elithak. He came from the spine. One of the harshest landscapes where only the strongest survive. If you are not prepared, the winter will steal your warmth, your food, your home. And you will be left to defend yourself with nothing against the barbarian tribes, the other warring Goliath tribes, and creatures that dwell within the blinding frigid white.
He came to us exiled, and Kuliak teaches us to take those that seek refuge in. He was stubborn but strong, forged from the ways other Goliaths learned to survive. He gained our favor, helping us fight against the dragon Elacromilakros, and even caught the eye of the Khan's daughter, Thread Twister. It wasn't long after that they were joined in sacred bonding, officiated by Khan Tamak Stoneguider himself.
After we trapped the dragon deep within the rock, Elithak went on a walk with the Khan, as they had done many times before. They were friends. But only Elithak returned, beaten, broken, bloodied by the dragon, who took the Khan.
Elithak rallied the tribe and emboldened us to all kill the dragon and rescue the Khan. But when we arrived, we were met against an army of otherworldly aberrations that continuously birthed themselves from the Ember, as he went up against the dragon and reawakened the Ember King. We thought Elithak was with us, but found he had closed the imprisoning gate behind us, trapping us within the mountain.
When you first rescued us from the Ember, I yelled out Elithak's name, and now I can tell you why. I was the last to be consumed by the Ember, by the king, and taken to the nameless city of Carcosa, where I spent eons pulling bones from flesh. I was paralyzed and being petrified. And that's when I saw Elithak return. But the Chaority did not swarm him. The dragon did not devour him. Instead, the Ember King greeted him as he presented our Khan to Elithak. The Stone Guider asked him why he betrayed us. Elithak said in return, all he said was, I tried to tell you, tried to help you, but you are too weak to see the potential and power of this tool you could have wielded. Instead, you chose to imprison it. I warned you as my tribe warned me. If you are not the strongest, you will die. And as he caved Stone Guider's skull in, he stole the diadem.
And he motions to the necklace around your neck, V.
Oh, that's what happened.
You okay?
Yeah, he just sucks.
Yeah, he does.
I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry he did that. I'm sorry I didn't know about it.
How could you, child?
I know.
We're gonna do everything in our power to bring him to justice.
You also notice Uthal kind of standing a little bit over, and you can just see his fists just clenched, turning white, pale from just the intensity he is gripping it.
What could he have possibly have said to Mom about what happened? There's no way she knows the truth. I can't believe that.
We do not know. All we know is that
Was she there?
no, your mother was with you
Oh, Jesus.
and your grandmother.
Ask
You were
Ask Lo what he told them.
Yeah, okay. I just know if they knew, they would never have left with him. They couldn't have. Especially Grandma.
People do silly things for the people they love. They're willing to go through a lot more for their own children.
You said he was broken and bleeding. It would have been easy for him to go back and say that he was the only survivor. He's cunning and manipulative.
But he's so sus.
But you don't get to be a noble in Waterdeep by not being able to manipulate people. V.
Harold, with these words, you start playing over memories in your head. And if there is one person you know to be eloquent with words, whether it to be either to deceive, to intimidate, or persuade, he could probably run circles around you. Or at least who you once were.
Otherthek's good at what I do, but better. Or he was back then. I don't know how much he's kept up with it. I'm sure he's only gotten better, just the same way I have. He's a scary guy. He can convince anybody of anything.
He's a monster. I'm sorry, V.
That's okay.
He's not a good guy, and we're gonna do whatever you have to do to make sure he faces justice.
Absolutely. He will be defeated, brought to justice, and I will do that.
Perhaps we should ask the offended party what the sentencing should be.
For us, when our own draws blood against our own, we invoke exile for his tribe and many other Goliath tribes. When you challenge one, is often to the death.
That much having been said, it's still the Khan's decision how to handle this when it comes time. And justice in Waterdeep sometimes takes a different look than justice in the mountains. We'll have to do whatever we have to do.
Someone once told me you can't show mercy to monsters.
People change.
Or they don't.
I think we have a lot to discuss.
Thank you for sharing this information with us.
They look towards you and say, "You are our voice. You are our blade." And they just nod.
Can the Federock bind people's power if it's coming from another plane?
They look confused as to what exactly you are pointing towards. I know what you're trying to say,
Yeah.
but they would not.
Suppose there is someone who is gaining power from the Amber King. Is there a way for you to prevent them from drawing that power.
There are beings that grant mortals gifts. It is possible.
When the seals are finally in place, it could sever that. But it is something that we have never experienced.
In theory, if we can replace all of the seals, and I will remind you that all but one
We're broken.
were broken.
It will take time. It is not a fast process. Each seal must be ritualistically carved
At
in a
least,
certain manner.
at least for us, since we are not gods.
Well, it's still incredibly impressive work, and we're thankful that we have you to help us.
We have you to thank.
Everybody's on the same team, and I'm happy to be here.
At least he was smart enough to leave one seal.
You should be aware, we have been encountering another of the Elder Evils. It's known as the Elder Eye. It's trying to unseat Eo.
You see them, like, kind of perplexed at this thought. It's impossible.
Is it?
Well, an elder being from another plane doesn't think it is, so that's a problem we need to worry about.
Theoretically, it's not from another plane, it's from somewhere much different.
It's from between the planes.
Right. That's what it was.
He's got a cult that is serving him and attempting to help usher him into this world. Apparently, there is an entity, Shathragat. When she arrives, his path will be open.
You see that with that name, they're trying to recall something, but you can tell that it does not come to them.
Okay.
So,
You should also be warned that his little cult that she mentioned has already corrupted at least an aspect, if not the entirety, of a divine being, Arpenser. And has probably killed another deity. Or corrupted that one. We
you see
need to
one
talk.
speak at Arpenser. Arpenser's been dead for eons.
Not quite. He's been claimed. He's been corrupted.
Things are constantly getting more complicated.
Then it is good you have a Vedrak among you.
Yes,
I'm
it
right.
is.
And there is a reason that the stars aligned you in their path.
I guess so.
Thank you. And if we find out anything that would be useful to you, Bentley or I will
We'll
cast
get in
Ascending.
contact. I have means of speaking with people over long distances. I'm sure you do it all the time.
We are familiar with this.
Perfect. Is her teacher in this room?
Not currently.
Okay, cool. Continue.
How long was Elerthek with the Vedrak?
Years.
Does anyone know his first exposure to the Emperor King?
No, it was a surprise that caught us off guard. Again, we rallied with him into the mountain to save Stone Guider.
What about this? What did he get exiled for in the first place?
From what we understand, he challenged his Khan, his father.
Got it.
But we don't know much more than that.
Meet that guy.
I do.
We'll get there.
I just.
Is there anything else we need?
I would not suggest going to the spine.
No, God.
Oh,
No.
no.
We gotta get back to
It's
town.
cold enough here, thank you. No offense.
You are met here with friendly faces. You will not be met there
No,
with any kindness, nature or otherwise.
Yeah, okay. Stick to dog books.
Dogs can write books now. Is that what's happened in 20 years?
No, it
No,
was. I found this tome and
And that's and then as you all venture out, what are you guys doing?
Uthal's next, correct?
Okay.
Before we go any farther forward, did you two talk to his Voldo?
Yes, we broke the news to him, and he needs some time to himself to process.
Yep.
He's, you know, from what I understand, you know, completely going to take responsibility for raising his siblings and come up with some sort of plan for where they're going to live.
Did you tell him what his parents told us?
In regards to what?
In regards to the nobility summoning this creature. This thing we face.
Yeah, must have
Yeah.
slipped my mind. I was too busy telling him his parents were dead.
Bring him here, then. He needs to know all of this. Particularly if he's going to be heading back to Waterdeep in any capacity, as does Uthal.
Why don't we... I don't want to push this guy to have a conversation. He's still kind of grieving pretty hard.
There may not be another time for it, unfortunately.
We got how many weeks of travel ahead of us?
That's another thing we need to talk about.
Is
Is
he
he
coming
coming
with
with
us?
How
There
else is he
is-
going to get back, guys?
There is a solution to this problem as well.
I'm sure that other people.
We can't take the miners with us either. Many of them are too weak to travel. However, as I said, we have a solution to this problem. These people have been punished, enslaved, lost years of their lives by a Waterdavian noble. They need to see that Waterdeep is on their side. We need to call the Open Lord.
What?
We use our favor to bring her here and send them back to Waterdeep, where they can have some semblance of a normal life. They need to see that they are cared for by someone on high. It's important.
I mean,
As he
Okay.
makes this proposal, we're going to take a break. Give you guys a little time to think about it.
Yep.
The pros, the cons, so you can form your arguments, and so we can, take a break ourselves.
Yeah. We'll be back in about 15 to 20 minutes, so stick around. Thanks so much for joining us for the first half, and we'll see what happens in the second half. Wow.
Words. Hashtag Eldritch. Hashtag Beyond.
Hashtag beyond cats, kittens, squares, waves go.
Giveaways
flying.
happening. Make sure you enter to win. We'll be back. And we're back.
Yay!
Welcome.
Yeah, a lot of things have happened. Most of it conversations, some heartbreaking, some
Not so.
informative.
Yeah.
There haven't really been a lot of
That was good. Actually.
there haven't
accurate.
been a lot of heartwarming
No,
situations
not-
this time. No, but
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Heartwarming.
If you at home ever want to draw doubt on anything anyone says, just add allegedly at the end of it.
That's it.
That's it. It's real easy. Live
or-
pro tip: if you want to lose friends fast.
Or get really specific, like I am talking with words that are coming out of my mouth that is filled with teeth.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
See? Now, see how I threw doubt on all of
There's no seam.
it? Seamless. Okay, welcome back.
hi.
We pick up right as Voss has presented the option or the idea of contacting the Open Lord to talk about bringing these refugees and miners into the city.
I don't think we'll need to use the favor.
If she'll do it for free, fine, but I doubt it.
It's
Why?
a long trip.
No, that's why. That
But-
makes sense.
These are a lot of people who are of the city.
Try.
Yeah, but I mean,
By all means, try.
yeah, give it a shot. But I totally agree with him on this
But-
one. I think they're going to need a shitload of money to do that.
But at the same time, are we all in agreement that this is fine? That if we need to use the favor to do this, this is the way we move forward?
It's not that I don't want to save these people. It's, I think,
That favor is huge.
right.
This would be a huge favor. This is what the favor exists for, in my opinion.
Let's
Well, I
start
mean,
with
we
So
can't
we
just-
gather everybody other than the miners that also want to go home, right? We put them all in a big group and we tell the Open Lord this is what we want to do. And
right.
I mean, theoretically, did we have any other ideas for what we would eventually use this favor for?
I mean, that's the beauty of the favor is, right? When an impossible situation approaches us, we can say no more to that. Now, granted,
And
I
we're
don't-
assuming that all of these people are from Waterdeep.
right.
The places they've been may not exist anymore.
Voss, from your conversations that you had the day previous, just
Mm.
talking to them, getting to know them, only the few that were lost to the mountain into the amber, not the tens, if not hundreds, that V encountered, you know that they are across Faerun.
Even then, they have a better chance of getting where they're going from Waterdeep than they do from the mountain.
Depends. I always assumed we would have to bring everybody back ourselves. I'm not saying we have the most stellar track record of protecting our convoys, but
This is also important.
Everybody lived.
everybody did live.
It's also important that these people see that someone gives a damn about them.
I mean, I think that I think that if they don't see that at this point, I mean, we did all this to help them.
I agree, but who are we?
We're the
I kn-
BFGs.
I'm aware of that, but we're not. Everyone knows who she is.
I think it's a question of how many people would we be sending back, and would it be worth the favor at that point? Could we save more people in the future with the favor if it only ends up being like 30 people?
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of options of what to do with these people. We
We
can't leave them here,
well, obviously, no.
and we can't take them with us.
I think that's debatable. We've done it before.
The
These
route.
people are too weak, Harold.
Agreed.
Wait. And excuse me for saying this, but when was it our responsibility to return them?
When they needed our help.
It's not. I agree, but
Why do you want them returned to Waterdeep?
because I don't see another option for them. These people have been battered and abused and destroyed. And the fact of the matter is, with the field ward as it is, that is an area where they can rebuild their lives.
It doesn't have
Insight.
anything. It doesn't have anything to do with basically putting a small army of people who would be loyal to us there, would it?
You know I'm telling the truth.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I can't, whatever you may be thinking, I can't make these people do anything.
Aren't there closer towns or cities that maybe might be more convenient for them to try to
We'd have to ask
start
everyone's.
off in? and
gonna
then
tell you
if
right
they wanna
now,
travel,
yeah.
they can make
It
that
was-
option themselves.
It was a hard trek down this mountain, up this mountain, and you had to be turned into clouds to go down this mountain quick.
Right, but like still, there's got to be a closer town than Waterdeep.
The closer towns are the ones that you passed through, and the ones you passed through were so small they probably wouldn't be able to handle the infrastructure.
And that's outside the High Forest.
We
Not,
would have to gather everybody from Waterdeep in any maybe close by neighboring cities. I don't know.
Waterdeep is a transit city.
That's fair. It's a good point. If we get them to Waterdeep, then they would have a better chance of getting to wherever they needed to go.
I think this is the best option. If we want to wait until after we have a conversation with Uthal, that's fair.
Yeah.
I honestly think, though, still, despite him obviously being in dire straits, Osvaldo needs to be a part of this conversation.
Yep. Okay.
All right?
Sure. Let's get everybody together. I will go try to... you want to take your brother and I'll take Osvaldo?
Sure.
Okay. I'll head in the direction I saw Osvaldo. We don't have to roleplay or anything. If he's... I'll just be like, hey, I know you're in a lot of trouble right now and things are shitty, but we're trying to figure out a way to get you home, sort of.
Okay, you find him alone, just kind of up on a plateau that's a little bit higher, and just watching over the entirety of the Gathalan tribe, just lost in his own thoughts. You see his face is wet, and he just kind of wipes it, and I need to find my siblings.
Yep. Come with me. We'll get everything squared away.
Follows you.
Cool.
I go to Uthal, and I...
He's not far away.
Okay, yeah.
You can actually look over and see him.
Yeah.
He's actually, like, hasn't been eavesdropping, but him and Sir Gregory have been close, like, ever since the story of Elerthak.
Right. Okay.
You can tell just with your passive insight, like, he is tense.
Yeah, uncomfortable. Yeah, so I go up to him and I say, what are your plans for getting back?
I don't know yet. It's one of the things I wanted to talk to you and your group about. The next step.
We were discussing about the people we saved from the mountain. Waterdeep's a transit city. If we can find a way to get them there, they can make their own choices. If they want to leave, stay, whatever.
Not a bad idea, but getting there was gonna be rough.
I know. How do you typically
Sorry, I just thought of something.
travel here, I guess, to the mountain?
This was my first time, and I took a very nice carriage up through the entrance of the High Forest, and then we chartered a riverboat and took that all the way up to the mining town.
I see. Okay.
It had stateroom. It was quite nice.
I bet.
I had a brandy decanter in my room.
I understand we don't have that here. Okay, well, I guess I'll just need to, if you come up with any ideas, let me know, because I don't think we can just leave everybody here feeling stranded on a mountain they're unfamiliar with.
Not when we're the ones responsible for them being here.
May I interject?
Yes.
You're proposing...
Helping them find a way back to Waterdeep.
So, us?
Well, I didn't know if you had an idea of any kind.
Are you speaking of the miners?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know you guys can't personally assist in this, per se, because you have to keep up appearances, but...
That was what I was going to bring up if it was not aware that we cannot travel with the miners.
Right, but that doesn't mean you can't
We need to have a conversation first
think of ideas.
to figure out what we're doing.
Okay.
We will travel back the way we came.
Let's converse first.
Okay.
I want to have a conversation with everyone of her group.
Okay. Can I call everyone over?
While they're gathering people, how does Devil's Mansion work?
We can't bring Devil here.
It's a spell.
But could people go through that?
We can't bring Devil here. This place is dangerous.
The answer is no. To your question.
I understand why you brought it up. It's not a bad idea. In this case, we can't do it.
Alright.
Too risky.
Go ahead and roll Arcana.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's a 1.
That would be why you don't know.
Yep.
Can I roll?
You know.
Okay, well, I figured he probably would have told me.
Yeah.
He likes to brag.
That's but yeah, that's not how it works.
Once it's placed, it doesn't move again until it goes away, and then everything within
Got
is out.
Damn. That would have been a really neat way to settle that.
You know, there is something similar. It's called Dimension Door. I believe Harold does it.
How
from
far
time to
can you
time.
go with it?
No. What was it?
How far could you go with it?
500 feet.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't work.
Well, if there was an easy.
Oh.
Up there.
You can walk up at this
Yeah,
point.
at this point.
Well, if there was an easy way to travel like that, I imagine that's what we would have done to get here in the first place.
Well, there are larger ways of traveling quickly, like a teleportation circle, which is what we did when Manchun killed us.
Or blimp.
You wanted to speak with us?
Yes. Hi, everybody. Osvaldo.
No, I was told that you wanted to.
Oh, no, we're
Uthal.
talking to Uthal.
Uthal.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just introducing you to folks.
This is Osvaldo.
That's welcome.
Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, to you guys. Sorry, I was. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw some of you volunteer for the down the mountain excursion when I made my my big announcement. But I'm here to listen and possibly offer any advice for how I can be of assistance of me returning to Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Okay. I wait for Uthal to speak first.
We are currently balancing on a razor's edge. Word will get back to my father of what transpired here today. When that happens, I think is up to us.
I've spoken to the Veterock about laying a distraction,
Okay.
carving the Red Wing symbol
Oh, those maniacs?
into the mine. Yeah.
It's a good idea.
I just got that it's red herring. Oh my god, I feel so silly for not realizing sooner. This is a good idea, Harold.
Thank you.
What?
Okay. You see Uthal just kind of look.
Insight on Uthal. Does he know?
Go ahead.
Like, did he figure it out?
Go ahead and roll insight.
That's a 19.
He's a smart kid.
I don't care if you know.
I didn't think you did. Of course, I didn't say anything.
I didn't mind. So
Didn't say anything though.
So here's where we're at, everybody. First of all, if you don't know me, and I'm assuming we got the miners here too, right?
The
this
miners are
is-
nearby if you want them to be.
Okay.
But
Sure.
Yeah, let's get them. And so I will. My name's Harold Hovleton. I'm from Waterdeep. Obviously, many of you are from a lot of different places. Some of us, most of us here in this particular group, are from Waterdeep or have lived there a significant amount of time. Our plan currently is to, wherever you're from, try to get you back to Waterdeep in such a way that you can then make the trek wherever you need to go to get to wherever your home is. Obviously, that's not a perfect solution, but we are dealing with a large number of you, and we're trying to do our best to determine the best way forward with that. Obviously, there are many different ways we could approach this. If anybody has any alternative means than what we are going to suggest, which would involve a lot of back-end work with very important people in Waterdeep. If somebody knows some secret path down the mountain, or if somebody knows a friend who got them up here, or anything like that, if there is any sort of anything anyone knows,
now would be the time to express it. Otherwise, I think that we're going to go ahead and go with...
1 second. I wait. Does anyone say anything?
Osvaldo
the
actually
opportunity.
speaks up and says, I found myself here because Elithok brought me here. So
I assume that's the case for most people. They were brought here against their will, and so they probably don't, but I figured it's best to ask.
he had a mage.
Yeah?
Elven?
Was he blue?
Gauntlet on one hand.
No, not
Oh,
blue, yes.
winter.
Don't worry about him.
Oh, then my suggestion is null and void.
If no one has anything else, and if this is our recourse, I turn to the miners. I understand years have been stolen from you. I understand your minds have been taken. And I understand that the nobility of Waterdeep has hurt you. Many of you are confused, angry. Many of you may not feel a reason to go forward. But I'm here to tell you, the City of Splendors does care. And the City of Splendors is open to you. And while you may think your time here is done, I think your stories are just beginning. For if you wish, you will find refuge in a new field ward, where if you want, you can carve a new path for yourself. You will find it very different than the last time you were there. And I promise you, you will not be going there unnoticed.
Osvaldo speaks up again. I think it's better if I am unnoticed.
As you wish.
I am a face he personally put in this mountain. If he sees me, it would give up what has transpired.
Then I bring both Uthal, his guard, and
Uthal's
Gregory.
gonna
Sir
forward.
Gregory.
yeah, Uthal's gonna actually speak up.
Okay.
I know I may be a face that strikes fear to many of you, but I assure you that I did not know what was transpiring here.
Insight.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm also doing that.
Dirty 20.
21.
Every
I'm
time.
so sorry.
Ow!
I'm so sorry.
I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
I thought that we hired a sizable workforce, wished to earn a living, working our minds, to find out what truly happened. Angers me to no end. But I agree. If you go, I will do what I can to make sure that you get the life you deserve.
Penance must be paid, but redemption is possible. Always.
With all respect, Uthal, it may not be feasible for you to uphold that promise right away.
That's where I, if I can, bring the two nobles forward.
And he was not lying
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
He fully believed that they were there legitimately as hired employees of the Gathal.
That is a
Nice.
weird dinner table conversation.
Yeah.
So basically, you're going to find out that they're all mind controlled. I know that sounds bad on paper, but trust
Yeah.
me, it's
Or-
great for efficiency.
Or at the very worst, worked out something with the city so that minor infraction people could work off their sentences about breaking laws with the code.
Yeah,
Stuff
yeah.
Like that,
Much of the nobility has been corrupted in certain ways. Some of them have summoned an allegiance with the creatures that have caused this mess. Ergo, it would be best if you found refuge with a safe house. I'm offering you the refuge of House Hailing Horse, who I know personally are clean. Tell them you know me, and they will give you refuge. I swear.
Osvaldo speaks up and goes, well, that's where I was heading in anyways, since looks towards Harold. That's where they are.
Yes.
That's where they are.
I suggest you take some time. Truly figure out what your next move is. There are so few known good noble houses now. It would be a shame to lose good people now. Think about it. That's all I'm saying.
Your father did bring me in to try and run the business with your sister.
The path forward will be difficult. You will be seen as pariahs. But that does not mean that is where you will always stay.
My main focus is for Terenzio and Elzarina.
Of course, you will find that they have been cared for well, and you will find safe haven there for as long as you need it.
Osvaldo, I looked forward to calling you brother. Perhaps I can. Just maybe in another means.
For those that had the insight going on, you can see Osvaldo have that little, you were a little shit though, but doesn't.
Osvaldo,
You pull it down, we were all a bunch of little shits.
now that you've talked seriously for just one moment, she pulls out a comb. What color hair do you want? I'm changing your hair color.
Seems like a very strange time to have a hairstyling appointment.
Pick a color.
Would the atmosphere actually be kind to the dyes and goes into like this long drawn out thing?
it's a magic item. It's
I
just
just-
gonna be a quick brush.
I brush it through his hair.
Oh, that is. Wow. Does anybody have? Did it actually change my hair?
I pull out like 3 different mirrors. Which one you like, bud?
I mean, it's more of a summer than a winter.
Here
That's
you go.
fair.
Look,
Yeah, what do you
I
think?
think you missed a spot, but.
Oh, sorry.
And it will sit there and go through a bunch of colors and.
Oh no, he
while
gets like
that's
2
going
chances
on, I'm
to
gonna
pick a
walk
color he
over to
likes.
Voss and very quietly say,
Well,
"Do the hailing horses know you as Voss or Bill? I don't
Boss.
remember." All right.
Why is that a distinction?
It's topic for another time.
That's definitely true.
Fair.
Does he
I
have any facial hair?
I turn back towards Seisha and I say, I think now's the time.
We need to discuss what to do about me. My father is going to expecting me to come back with a report. What do we want to do?
You saw a bunch of guys in dark clothes with red sashes coming through the area and destroying as much as they possibly could. It almost seemed like they knew the entire operation top to bottom, as if somebody explained every detail to them. Who could have known that much? It's anybody's guess.
How good of a liar
Tell
are
me
you?
a lie.
You-
That's a fair point.
Sir Gregory
Yeah.
will speak up. It'll take us maybe 10 days to return.
Probably gonna take us about that too.
That was my question.
Yeah.
Because if we return after you, this ruse will not work.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
Right, we still have things to do around here.
And we have stops to make on the way home.
Sights to see, you know?
You know, vacay.
You opened the box. We came. I'm sorry.
Unless
Tell me a lie, Uthal. Or a truth.
What's your favorite color?
No, something deeper.
Oh. I can't decide either.
I think his favorite color is red.
Just because
I have always known about this and have been in it from the start.
Inside.
Sure.
Let's see if any of us can catch him.
Is this a rule of 2?
25.
That's fine.
Oh, work.
No.
21.
Is not.
Yeah. You said rules. Sorry.
Oh, 22.
Dirty
One
20.
more than last time.
You need to be better than that.
It was pretty good, though.
I don't know if I can be.
Tell me the story of what you saw in the mines.
We were there undergoing normal checks with Master.
Barrick Broadhammer.
With Master Barrick, and we were all of a sudden sieged by a group of individuals. So happened so fast. There was shades of red and.
Don't have it active. You got there after the fact. You didn't actually see the men. What you saw were a series of symbols carved into the walls.
Already there.
An Ouroboros with 3 red wings spanning out from it. And what you're going to do is you're going to wait here for a little while. Actually, one of us will go down into the mines and draw it. And you're going to go look at it. And that way you'll be telling the truth.
All right.
If this is what happened, then it would seem that we would use all of our effort to return as soon as possible.
Ooh. Yeah. Someone should go in and you don't look and they actually just break a bunch of stuff so that it'll look like there was a
I think that stuff's broken.
I checked. There's a lot of broken.
More broken stuff that he didn't witness. I'm talking about things he didn't
No,
witness.
I understand what she's saying. It's smart. It's a good play. No. And I am being serious in this matter. If he suspects,
That's why I'm giving you the truth to fall back on so that you're not lying.
I have a question.
He'll see through a lie.
Is this something that will cause his ire and have them appear here? Because I don't think that your clan would appreciate
You're not
that.
going to have to worry about them showing.
They might go to the mine itself, but I don't think they'll come to this village.
They have very limited reach.
I will do everything I can to make it seem legit, and I'm pretty good at that. But
He's excellent at reading people.
There's a town right at the convergence of the Unicorn Run and Delambir River.
What was the name of it?
Succumber.
Succumber.
If I'm remembering correctly, we could venture off the main direct route, go to Succumber, and pay for quick transit. We can't find it in the mountain, or we can't find it in the forest, but we can find it in Succumber. That would at least shave off a 10-day.
That'd be
That'd be
perfect
good.
because that would give plenty of time for us to return. Doesn't look like we're connected at all.
I can do that.
Think about it for a moment before we proceed any farther forward. You wanted to talk.
What, now?
Yes.
Not with these people, I don't.
Move aside then.
It can wait until after we get everybody where they
No,
need to go.
it can't. It needs to be now.
Everybody, would you pardon us for a minute?
Yeah, they kind of give that like, ooh, okay. didn't think transporting people was going to be so heated, but yeah, they move away.
Let's go to our tent.
Yeah, let's do that.
And I will do that.
And I will follow.
Okay.
Once we're inside. Why now, man? We're in the middle of getting all these people saved. It was a good plan. It's gonna work.
Go ahead.
What do you mean, go ahead? Y'all already know, for the most part, I snuck outside Uthal's place to make sure this guy wasn't gonna go try to talk to him or kill him or something. And sure as shit, he went in there, talked to him at length about the stuff you're always talking about, killing Ellerthak, the nobles and how much you hate them, and mages and how much you hate them.
Okay.
Explain yourself.
I saw someone in need of direction, and I gave it to him.
Direction that served you.
Direction that served everyone.
By your measure. Something you didn't ask any of us
By
about.
what
you just
other
assumed.
measure?
You want to kill Ellerthak.
Sure. I don't think I'm the only one that does.
I'm sure lots of people want to kill Ellerthak. But you know the
They're
one...
right out there.
Okay. I don't care. It's not their decision.
I agree with Voss.
It's great. Not your decision either.
I understand that. It's V's decision, but I think she should hear both sides and make up her mind.
She's already
after
heard.
She's heard both.
She's already
opinions.
heard his side.
She hasn't talked to me about it.
Oh well, that's what keeps happening here. That's why we're having the meeting.
Right.
So,
But you're shutting it down.
the man wants to kill him regardless of how she feels. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
There it is. What else do we have to discuss? Fucker's making choices for us. You're making choices for us.
Your father is a threat to your clan as well as everyone around him, so long as he's alive. He has the knowledge with which to do this again. We know he's already come back from being stripped of everything once. His will is like stone. He'll do this again. He is also a walking weapon, an amazing warrior that Manchun will not throw away. He needs to die. That is the only way this can be resolved permanently.
There's a third option, V, that no one has considered. We don't do anything because we can't. We aren't strong enough to kill your father. We sure as hell weren't strong enough for a snowman of Manchun.
That was a long time ago.
And everyone's grown since then, including them.
I'm not scared of them.
Oh, I'll be honest. I'm terrified of Ellerthak.
I've lived with the guy. I can tell you he's terrifying, but I'm not scared to face him.
Then you're a fool.
No, I'm not. I just know that we're the only people that can do this job.
Harold, there's no harm in being afraid and trying it anyways.
I do that every day when I'm
Right.
with you guys. That's what I'm doing here. But I'm scared of him, but I'm not afraid to face him because that's our job.
When the time comes, I will see that justice is had, and I will be able to make the decision that is necessary.
And what do you do when Manchun pulls him back?
When
And
we're
empowers
in
him
the
again.
situation, we don't know what situation we're getting ourselves in. We can't foresee the future.
I need to ask this as well. And I'll ask this as a general. Do you all think I'm undermining what we do?
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Tell me in all honesty that you've never undermined us. And then put up a zone of truth.
Tell
Go
me
ahead
I'll-
and do that.
I
Then
don't-
answer that fucking question.
Go ahead.
I cast Zone of Truth.
Everybody make wisdom saving throws. You can
I
choose to
fail.
fail it.
Yep.
I choose to fail.
Yeah,
I choose to fail.
I'll choose to fail it.
Alright, you know that.
Nothing I have done has undermined us.
In your thought process,
There is no House Hailing Horse without this. There is no network. There is no Red Wing. Without what I have done, everything I've built has been a boon to this group. And the reason I haven't brought it up is because this is the way you always react. Every time.
when you
I don't
make-
have time to make this decision. I don't have time to make this group because I know what you'll say. But I'm right. I've been right.
Okay. That's how you feel.
It's fact.
You've never
He
once,
needs to die.
never once did anything behind our back, specifically because you didn't want us to know you did it.
Everything I've done has assisted us.
That isn't the question I asked you, asshole.
Everything I've done has assisted us.
Okay, buddy.
Like, if Ellerthak dies, it'll be a Vatarok who kills him. It just has to be that way.
So I wanted to say this. I'm not going to stop. Not beyond Ellerthak. What I do. This is what I'm good at.
I'm not saying you should stop doing what you're doing. I'm saying if you're going to do stuff like decide you're going to kill somebody regardless of how she feels, that's something the group needs to fucking know.
He's been honest about that the whole time.
He's been honest about it to her. She had to come to me. You didn't know. You
Yes,
didn't know.
I did.
He used it to threaten me,
Oh,
first of all,
she
because he
came
wants
to
to
me.
control me.
She came to me the next morning.
I don't want to control you.
I don't think you've ever felt like you're part of this group.
No. Because I haven't been. What you want is not what I want. What you do is not what I do.
What do you want?
What do you do? Because clearly we don't know.
At this point in time, I want to leave.
No.
You will continue to undermine me.
Like I've been doing a ton of undermining. My whole time here has just been undermining
you.
you.
Told me that I'm just a man with a knife and that you can make the seas move.
I can. But I'm telling you
So
the truth.
you'll
But I also said that you were my brother and that I loved you and that I
don't
wanted to believe you were doing the
believe
right
you.
thing.
I don't believe you.
I'm in the truth circle.
Yeah, I know you think that.
Good Lord. If I think that, then it has to be true because it's a personal opinion. I love you. But the fact of the matter is, I've been betrayed a shitload by tons of people I loved, and when you're doing shit behind our backs, boy howdy, it sure smells the same.
Despite all that it's gotten us, despite all the times that it's brought us forward,
I
despite
made a-
all the doors it's opened,
I made
Harlequin
a
got me
deal-
into college.
No, I made a deal with the devil to get power. Let that sink in. And you hated me for it. So you're saying that your ends have justified your means. So why is it so different when I do it?
because I'm not making deals with evil incarnate.
Not
They're
yet.
all people. And I'm the only... Let me tell you something. Reality, all of you terrify me. And you terrify most people. You're attached to something you don't even know that owns your name, that you have no idea what it's going to do with you. You've made deals with devils before, and I honestly believe you will do it again in the future if the opportunity arises. I want you to be in a temple, surrounded by paladins stronger than you who will help you until you can get well. I begged Davil that.
You begged Devil that. And what would that have meant for the group?
I would have asked Seisha and only Seisha, and I would have respected her decision, whatever it was. But you can turn on a dime, and you're in a fight for your autonomy. You need to be in a place where you can get well.
I need to be with the people who give me strength.
And so do I, and that's not here.
Who is it? Devil?
Believe it or not, yes. Those are the people that I feel understand what I'm doing.
Wow.
Unbelievable. I understand. But my time with this group has come to an end.
No! No! No!
This is how it
No.
needs to be. I can't operate at my most effective when I'm here. And to be honest, you are all moving beyond bounds where I can reach you. Like you said, I'm just a guy with a knife. I need to be where I can be most effective. And it's not here. It's back at Waterdeep. That's why I needed to have this conversation first. Because when we call her, I'm going back with her. this is what is best. So long as I am here, I will be a dividing force because I will not stop what I am doing.
None of us know what
right.
you're doing. We still don't have any idea. You won't say it either.
I know how you'll react when I tell you.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you fucking do.
So,
We're going to find out either way, eventually. You might as well tell us now, Voss, since you're leaving.
no.
Then we'll find you.
No,
I will.
go for it. I should have known. You're so careful with how you answer all the questions in here. I should have known. I should have fucking known. I really trusted you above everybody else. I really thought I had you figured out, and I don't know the first damn thing about you, clearly. I'm grateful for everything you did for us, but the fact that you won't even hint at what it is your goal is makes it pretty obvious that half the reason you're leaving isn't because you're worried about us, it's because you're worried about you and your plans.
I've lived my entire life without having a shred of conviction. And now I have it. And I see something that I want to achieve.
Why do I get the feeling that something you want to achieve is something none of us will appreciate? How many people gotta die for this plan, Voss?
You could have taken the wheel. Always remember that.
I could have taken the wheel. I'd have just parked. Whatever it is you're planning, it's bad enough you won't even tell us. And I've just been turned on too many times to trust you now. Unbelievable. All the work we've done together, all the time, it doesn't mean anything to you? Come on, man. I catch you one time out and now you're done?
I've been thinking about this for a long time. It is what it is. I don't expect it to be understood.
You realize, I can't let the Harpers continue to work with Davil. That's never going to happen again.
They're part of the same alliance.
I don't know, man.
If you decide to break that, you will destroy everything that this group has worked for. That's your prerogative. That's on you.
How am I supposed to trust what the direction we're going in is if I know you have a direction, but neither side knows, Davil or us?
You would only trust me if I was exactly what you wanted me to be.
And that's not true.
I will never be that. And with that, it's been fun. But this is where we part. Thank you all. You've taught me a great deal.
Yeah, you taught me a great deal too.
With that, I take my leave outside the tent.
You're on her.
Yeah.
Go.
I hug Stacia.
I leave the tent.
I
And I
shrug
follow
her
Voss.
off and walk out.
Okay, sorry.
And I look for Voss.
Oh, work.
Okay.
You see, Vinley is also doing the same.
I just begin walking towards the mass of the group. And I wait.
Please don't go.
All I'll do here is divide. There, I can unite.
But the issue, Voss.
Voss, we need you.
No, you don't.
I need you.
Seisha, you have grown leaps and bounds beyond what you were when we first met. And now you are in a fight for the sheer autonomy of your soul, and it is a fight I cannot help you with.
Don't you realize your presence helps me?
No.
Just being here helps me.
I have to believe that because you're out here, and because you're traveling amongst, that you're powerful enough to face this without me. I told you one day we would part.
I'm not ready.
We're never ready when it faces us. But this is how it must be.
No, it doesn't. It's not.
I don't belong here.
None of us do, boss.
I in particular. And
Boss, you're amazing. You're a genius, and you are so intuitive. But you need to learn how to work with people. You need to learn how to put faith in people.
I do.
Just not us.
No.
Then perhaps I should tell Devil not to have faith in you.
This...
Do
No.
what you feel you need to do.
Can people just stop threatening each other for 5 minutes? Please!
I'm not threatening anyone.
I'm not talking to you.
It's my job. I have to protect the city, and if I don't know what he is doing, I can't trust
You
him.
don't know what everybody's doing, Venley. No one does. I am amazingly intuitive. I can read people like nobody's business. I couldn't tell what he was doing.
Seisha, this is going to happen. There's nothing else to be said.
No. No.
Finley, you need to call the Overlord then. Otherwise, everyone
You're
here
not a
is in
BFG
danger.
anymore. I don't take my orders from you. Have Seisha send it. And she walks away back to Harold and
Okay.
me.
Seisha, I need you to do this.
How can you just leave me? How can you just abandon me? All this time, I have been nothing but loyal to you. I have stood beside you. I have bled for you. I have stuck my neck out for you in countless ways and tried to show you that you are part of us and you are not alone. And every time you pushed me away.
Now you know why. I will never be that. The thing I learned in Daggerford was that there are parts of myself I must accept if I am to move forward. And that means I cannot move forward with all of you.
Then just move forward with me.
Seisha, you feel in your soul your path is taking you elsewhere. You know what I'm saying is right.
Why can't you just do it for me? Why?
Because then I have to give up the pieces of myself that make me strong. And that allow me to do the things that need to be done. That's why.
Boss, I'm not asking you to be vulnerable to the world. I'm just asking you to show me a sliver of the love and loyalty that I have always shown you.
I can't. That fire burned out of me a long time ago.
I cast sending. There are many people who have been trapped and enslaved that need safe transport to Waterdeep. Can the city help us?
Technically, I have 4 words left. You do not have to complete it, just letting you know.
By favor, if necessary.
Okay. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Right, there's dice in this game.
Yeah. Is this the first one that's been... No,
No,
it's
no.
not.
That is a 23.
23?
Where is your location? There are many questions that must be answered first.
Does this village have a name?
I am not.
Oh.
Yeah. It is not a no, but I need more information.
I look at one of the Veterok. Does this village have a name?
It does not. We are nomadic. But why do you ask?
Because someone needs to know how to get here.
Tell them the endless caverns.
I cast Sending again. We are at the Endless Caverns. At the Veterok village.
I will send a representative. Who will be able to communicate more openly.
More openly than the open Lord
Someone's
Jesus.
on the way. And I turn and walk away.
What does Voss do?
Voss waits. Little else to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
I
think we're-
go to the circle of stones and sit down in the center. I close my eyes. And I will my soul to reach out. Agma, I could use some guidance. I am completely lost. I've lost the most important thing. And I feel like I'm on a path. But I really don't want to walk it right now. I'm very alone right now. In a way that I don't think anyone but you
can appreciate. My friend Rakira would talk to the Phoenix, and the Phoenix would sometimes answer. I just need to know you're there.
Go ahead and... High or low?
Hi.
Okay. As you sit upon this altar, amongst the standing stones, at the epicenter of the valley, surrounded by all of the mountains, underneath the radiating aurora borealis, you look up towards the heavens and you see the glowing light of Sol, the sun that burns bright in the mid-sky. And as you look at this, your entire peripheral and vision is encapsulated in opulent, golden, glowing light. There is a pervasive celestial orchestral ballad of harmonious melodies. I hear you. But why won't you look at me?
And before you stands the backlit image of a handsome, dark olive-skinned man in bright, resplendent, and stylish clothes. He smiles an intoxicatingly warm smile as he brushes back his long brown hair. His clothes and armor, including the projecting shoulder plates, all look to be textured and woven from scribed textiles, written in every language, but much too small to decipher. Across his back you see a lute, held by the harness, complete with scroll case and book suspended under his arms from his shoulder holsters. You are looking at Ogma, lore of knowledge.
Seisha Velispat, my lore seeker. I see that you are at a troubled time in your fable, and I do know your loneliness. How can I help you finish this part of your story?
Teach me how to say goodbye.
Did you not say goodbye yesterday?
To my best friend. How to say goodbye to my best friend. My first friend.
Love is a wicked blade. It cuts the deepest, but it also makes the most beautiful songs and the most sad ballads. I have known the loss of love. Sometimes people depart when you do not want them to. I cannot tell you how to say goodbye. I cannot ease your pain. But as was said and stated yesterday, if I remember correctly, goodbyes are not always forever.
Will our paths cross again?
I do not see the future.
Yeah, I knew that. How long does it take for it to stop hurting?
That's the thing with love and its fickle blade. It does and does not get easier with time. There will be days that you find yourself enraptured in your new story, completely oblivious to the ones of old, but not because you do not care, but because you care about the moment you are in. But there will also be days where you feel nothing but pain. For there is something missing.
Can you make it stop hurting?
What was the first thing I told you about love?
That it's a wicked double blade.
And that it writes the most beautiful songs and the most sorrowful ballads. You are a lore seeker. You want to erase this pain, this knowledge?
No. No, I don't. I want to find a way. I want to find a way to make it worthwhile. To make it mean something. And not just hurt.
It hurts because it did mean something.
It meant everything. And nothing.
Is there anything else you need my help with? I will say I'm sorry. You have not heard my words before now. There's a special connection between these planes and where you find yourself now, making it easier to connect with you. But I've always been with you.
I do have one more question. Who's my mother?
There are some things even I do not know. But your story so far would say tomorrow worst day.
Thank you.
What is that? And it's like he's peering through you.
What?
The darkness.
Oh, it's... Something has happened, and there's an entity known as the Elder Eye, and it's taken some sort of root in me. I don't know. I'm trying. It's
That's what happened.
to the solar.
Ever since you've been shrouded by the mist of Agnes, when you made the trade with her.
For Pixel.
That is also the moment your protector, your solar, was infected by her curse.
That's what it is.
It seems unbreakable by any magic or ability currently you have at your aid. But there might be someone that can help. Somewhere close.
Who? The Mistmaster?
You've heard.
We were sent to find him.
Seek his Citadel of Mists. He can help you save your solar.
Thank you.
This is only an end to a chapter.
It was the best chapter of my life.
So far. And remember, I'm always with you, child. And with that, it all fades back.
Thank you. And she will stand back up and go back to where everybody is, all the miners and everyone is waiting. And she takes a moment to collect herself before she goes over there. And she goes and waits in hopes that the representative from the Open Lord will show up.
Vinley, as you walk off, heading back towards V and Harold.
I think halfway there she kind of changes her mind and just keeps walking back towards that same spot for some reason she keeps returning to.
Before you leave the village itself, one of the necklaces that you wear around your neck begins to get warm.
I pull the metal of my breastplate and I reach my tiny little ghastly hand down it and I pull out my necklaces and I make a loud clanging sound as they hit
You
my
can
chest.
see your holy symbol of Mistra is faintly glowing.
She starts looking around panically and she grabs it, lets it go, and then just grabs onto it and starts looking around. And she just drops to her knees and starts praying.
As you hold it, you can feel almost like a tether kind of pulling up just a bit from that necklace.
Okay.
And
I follow.
As you close your eyes and you open to follow, just before you open, there is a brilliant flash of energy. And as you open your eyes, you look up to see the silver-haired, white and golden-robed visage of the Open Lord, Laurel Silverhand.
Of who? Sorry?
Laurel Silverhand.
The Open Lord.
There you are.
I'm sorry. I was. Sorry, it got a little hectic. I apologize.
And you can see just underneath her, like right at her feet as she's kind of hovered above, is this silvery fire that you remember seeing at the top of her office.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she's more incorporeal. Like,
Oh. Okay. Are you the Presumably you're not the
Based on the tone of the sending and the reports we have already received about this from our own internal investigations, I thought it was best that I calm myself as best I can.
Absolutely.
Luckily, your connection to the weave allows me to tap into, to be present, if you will.
Oh. That's amazing. I'm glad I could be that for you. Would you like to see
Yes,
everyone?
I would.
Okay, I apologize. And she starts making her way.
And you can almost see that tether coming from your holy symbol is what is anchoring her too. And so she walks next to you. That like silver wisp of fire is kind of feeding off of your holy symbol down onto the ground that she walks. Or hovers, if you will.
I'm walking straight towards Voss with this spectacle.
Okay. And Voss, you see this
I remove my hat.
approach.
Seisha, you will also see this. If you two want to look outside of the tent, you will also see this.
Yep.
We'll step out.
Okay. You've finished your commune, if you will. And we'll kind of look around, taking in the scene. You see a lot of like the Goliaths are like.
I walk forward. I bow.
Mr. Ronto?
Yes. We have many injured here from the machinations of a Waterdavian noble. I thought it best if we show them what the City of Splendors truly has to offer. Thank you for coming yourself.
You speak dire accusations. Do you have proof?
I turn around to look, and I suppose none that I can speak of.
The Goliath here can attest to the veracity of what he's saying. So can many of these individuals who've been trapped in the mines.
I can speak on behalf of the Veterak clan that they were tricked and imprisoned for 20 years within the mountain by Elerthak Athala and the Amber King.
I see. Transgressions against other emissaries is different than proof. Testimonies are nothing but rumors. I will need tangible proof, and I'm not saying this in a sense of I don't believe you. However, when you are dealing with legal means, and she says kind of with a bit of a disdain.
Ulathan. I whisper to Harold. Your brother's name, I'm sorry, I don't...
Uthal?
Ulathal.
Uthal.
We should to fulfill the ruse. He has to get back and not
Yeah.
be a part of all this.
I say to her, forgive me On this instance, I feel I misspoke, but nonetheless, we direly need your help to help these people get back to a place of solace. I apologize.
You have nothing to be apologetic about. I am being a diplomatic politician. But I assure you, whatever transpired here will be uncovered, and I promise you, those responsible will be dealt with accordingly. But that is not why you called me here.
We need these people transported back. Some are far too weak to make a journey so perilous, as well as others here, and those of us with need back in Waterdeep, such as myself.
How many are there?
I count. How many?
Here there are probably 20, and that's just from what you uncased in the mines and the few that the Veterox have already been able to save from the or you save from the amber, and then the few that have been cleansed of their mind and
The ones
healed, recovering from the mines themselves. There are still probably a couple hundred left in the mines that are still working, that they're slowly trying to...
I relay this.
Okay. I see. And you say that there are more...
Unfortunately, yes.
This cannot be done quickly.
I understand.
But it is doable. What do we know of those still working?
Their minds have been addled by a being known as the Amber King. And I turned to either Sasha or Vinley to fill in the gaps on those.
He's an elder
Zargu?
evil.
Yes, I'm aware. The Veterox were his wardens. They disappeared some time ago.
20 years.
It is good to see their return. My sisters and I have had dealings with them before. But what is it that you ask of me?
To take those that we can back to Waterdeep. There they can find transport if they need be, or, with the work that we have done in the field ward, perhaps build a new life there. Reclaim some of what has been taken from them.
All of them have been forcefully into this?
Yes. No miner or worker came here voluntarily.
Or if they did, it was under false pretenses.
Either way, this mine was never anything but a den of slavers.
This is where the Hera dust has been coming from.
The amber.
I see. Troubling. Very troubling.
You should probably also know Ellerthak is working with Manchun.
We have no proof of this, obviously, but...
Unfortunately, the code legal, especially with nobles, states, more so after the Masklord murders, must be taken with every ounce of scrutiny and due diligence. I do not say that I do not believe you. I'm saying that there is a
I don't mention it because I want you to do something about it. I just thought it would be best if you knew.
And I appreciate you telling me this. It is definitely something that I will know. And I kind of looks towards you, V. I know the last time that we spoke and met, you had become estranged from your family. And I understand why. We will look into this, but first and foremost, let us get these people to safety.
I also mentioned Oswaldo, obviously, as well as myself.
Okay.
And I want to mention that Uthal is innocent in this.
Your brother?
Yes.
You have proof that he is innocent in this?
I questioned him.
We also don't have any proof of wrongdoing, though, so that's kind of out of the question. anyway.
That's good. And again, I am just trying to gather the facts.
There are many things to still work through. However, as you said, the truth will eventually make itself known.
It always does.
Can it be done?
Oh, absolutely. I will make sure that these people find their way home. First and foremost, to my city, where we can get them to where they need to go, book passage, or if they wish to stay, the field ward is open to them. And now it is a member of the city. So I can do more for them there now.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that is because of you all.
We're aware. It's just been a trying experience.
I can see that.
Do you have any more questions?
The first group shall begin arriving tomorrow. They will return tomorrow. It will take time and days. I will also see what I can do to send some clerics to tend to those still in the mines themselves.
Any assistance would be appreciated.
Though I can promise you that as soon as I make these arrangements, anyone involved in that operation will know what is happening. Unfortunately, my movements are rarely secretive.
That is, in the choice between leaving these people behind on the perilous journey and this, the choice is obvious. I think you would agree.
I would. And it is within my power to do so, and one that I will willingly do without acceptance of favor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your continued devotion and work. For not just Waterdeep, but for all of Toro.
Yeah, it's a great job.
I will ask for one thing in return. Something that I have already asked.
Whatever you need.
Find the Mistmaster.
Please.
We will.
That's next on the agenda.
He knows, or could know, what happened to Kelvin. We need him.
Yes, we do.
And with that, you watch as the fire snuffs out and she is gone.
Well, there we go.
I depart to another time.
Okay. An elder approaches you all.
As Voss takes his leave.
I hope I am not interrupting anything.
You are not.
The elders have a request.
We'll do whatever they ask.
First, I must tell you a story. I had a son. His name was Corvan. He never earned an epithet because of what happened to him. His faction's rite of Varix was to cleanse the area of the Sisters a little over 20 years, or 20 cycles ago. Something went wrong. He was the only one to return from the Varix, drenched in blood. He was shaken as if he had seen haunting spirits. He spoke of twisted creatures in black water of which he said he drowned in. He spoke of a beguiling creature, hideous in her form. And he pleaded that he did not mean to kill his brethren and kin, but the blood was stained on his hands and his soul. So he was exiled, so that he could hopefully find honor in the path of Kuliak.
You want us to find him?
No. His path is his own.
But the creatures that did it to him.
Do you know where the birthing waters are?
Do we?
The river?
It is the basin of the Sisters.
Yes.
A set of waterfalls running over cliffs at the headwaters of the Unicorn Run. There is a pool there where they say all life springs into being on Toril. Some tell stories of watching the moon rise over the Sisters and claim to have gotten a glimpse of a unicorn atop the cliff. And this is considered a blessing of good fortune from the goddesses Thalea, Shantae, Maliki, and Luru. The pool of waters at the basins runs through Thalea's passage, what others call the Eldathan Gate. Thalea is our mother, and she is the one who cleanses all who are born into this world through the birthing waters of Shialia. But be warned, that area has always been tied to those from beyond the stars. It is why the Amber King came here from the Raurin desert lands of the Imaskari. It is where he tried to merge with something before the first of our clan imprisoned him. But our stories do not tell us what that something is, for we have either forgotten or may have never known. I fear that is what corrupted my son. If I could ask you to find out what consumed and tortured him, I would be ever grateful. And the elders ask that you help Thalea cleanse it. Destroy it if you have to.
Yes.
Thank you, Mycon. And the woman walks away.
Oh, sorry. I probably should have asked you guys.
No, it was the right thing to do. Do we have any of the drinks left from the party last night? Because I'm about to go get fucking hammered.
I think so. I'll go with you.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't think you'd react this way. I shouldn't have said anything.
No, it's
He was gonna do it anyways.
this was going to happen eventually.
If he didn't.
I'm going to get some air. She just steps out the tent and just stands there, staring at where he went.
What about you, Seisha?
I don't care.
Yeah, me either. I don't know. Harold will put his hand on her back.
I take out a piece of paper, write a quick note on it, take out the hair color changing comb, then I give it to Svard and I send him off to deliver it to Voss.
Okay. Eventually, a large skull designed blue butterfly flutters in with a hair comb and a note.
I take it. I open the note.
The note just says, I will never hate you.
Voss stares at the comb for a moment. Takes off his hat. And uses it to dye his hair a blood red. At which point, he places it back on his head and goes to find his Valdo.
Okay. See Osvaldo kind of mingling with the crowd, trying to talk with those that are going to be returning with tomorrow, and yeah.
May I speak with you privately for a moment?
Is everything okay? Everything seems like it just turned on a dime.
Sometimes the people you travel with, you reach an end with them. You can't follow them to the places that they're going. You can't move in the ways that they move. Can't be what you want them to be. So it is that perhaps I am needed elsewhere. I'll be going back with you to Waterdeep, actually. I need you to understand something too. For all that has been taken from you, perhaps the right and noble thing to do would be to give up your name and pay a proper penance for your parents' sins. But is that the right thing to do?
Right now, I really don't know what the fuck the right thing to do is.
Welcome to my life. But if I can give you a piece of advice, the path that will restore who you are is to fight back against the forces that have taken this from you, not to give in.
The right path right now is for me to take care of my younger siblings, and I offer you some advice. When someone learns that they just lost their parents, you don't laugh at them in their pain.
Fair enough, sir. I hope over the next few days you find ways to deal with that. I'll be around. Think on it.
And he just kind of stares off into the distance.
As I walk out and out of the group, it's hard for me to feel that pain because it's buried so deep under a sense of purpose and great potential. And that is the last thing I think Voss will feel here.
And as he separates himself from the group, you all look forward to your next mission. Losing 2 members. That is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Jesus.
This was not.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Are you okay?
Are you cool? Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
This was not
I
sprung
was
on
like,
me.
I don't know how to handle
Yeah, this wasn't a surprise. I don't think.
Thank you all so much for this heavy episode. We hope you are all okay.
Yes.
Take a moment to yourself.
Yeah. As you can tell, we're all still friends here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Derek King is
We'll see. We'll see how this moves forward. But yeah, that is.
Oh man.
For the foreseeable future, the last time Voss will be a part of the game.
Goodbyes may not always be forever.
Yep.
May be a temporary separation, but we don't know what the future holds.
Yep. We'll find out.
All depends on narratives. But remember, #Eldritch, #Beyond. We're going to be pulling those things really soon.
Yep.
For an Eldritch Foundry miniature or a player's bundle.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, woo, man.
Wow.
Rough.
I'm a little dehydrated.
Fair.
Jesus.
It was something I was thinking about for a long time.
Yeah.
You like really didn't spur it. It was just something that was always going to happen.
I
Yeah,
figured as
it
much,
felt
but
that
Harold is
way.
Harold 100% is like that. This is on me, and eventually Sace is gonna knee me in the balls just the
He's-
same way.
He's very much like waiting for this to happen any day now. Like very
Yeah,
much,
there've
like
been
not super surprised.
There have been a couple of hiccups along the way, and we've had conversations and things like that. But this one, we were like, narratively, this is a
Yep.
Yeah.
this
But
works.
we have our winners. Winner of the D&D Beyond Players Bundle is T-Call.
And the winner of the Eldritch Foundry is Rico 4 Blur.
49036.
That. I need glasses.
Thank you all so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did, even if it did get a little emotional up in here. But
And we have a guest next week.
we have a guest next week, so
Yeah.
join us for that as we head down the mountain with one party member short. Be excellent to each other.
May you always roll with advantage.
Good night, everybody.
Are you not gonna be here next week?
Huh?
Are you not going to
I'm
be
gonna
here?
cry.